And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes sound funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Jimmy at Woodstock. Drum me around in your red Ford. Shivers down my spinal cord. Oh, 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 oh. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes sound funny, my tongue tied up on it. You've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be
burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Born to the place where all this began. To start again. Won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. It's not lost, you're not lost. Hold on, hold on. It's not lost, you're
Good morning and welcome back, everybody, to Streamline Minor League Tournament. Today's matches are going to be Air Esports versus Bazinga as our Group A match, and then we will be having Ascent Esports versus Syndicate. I am Lolo Pond, or usually known as Pond, and I'm casting today with Alex. Alex, what are you looking forward to in today's matches?
I'm looking to see how these two teams match up against each other, as this is still not qualifiers, but this is still the very first bracket. So I want to see how these teams play, and if they have any gunners, and if they have gunners, what maps they feel like going to.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to bring that up, talking about we still are in the we started on the stage of 32 teams, and in our round of 16 we have a lot of very strong teams coming in. I know that in our first match of the day it was going to be a Division A match, and in Division A currently we have, moving into the round of 16, Kira Esports, Mischief, Team Heat, and CS Team Waha, and all those teams are very strong. I mean, Kira Esports and Mischief is a team of some ragtag gunners that they gain the intel they need, but they don't hesitate. We saw them play on Oregon. They droned out where they needed to drone out, understood where they need the map control, and as you said, they were just a team of gunners, and they made plays happen. And there was not much that QWE could have done against them. But in Division B, we had kind of a little bit of a switch up. We had Tilt Esports being a mix of very strategic heavy and frag heavy, and Roaring Tigers being 100% frag heavy. I mean, I think it was Ada from Roaring Tigers that went an astonishing 20-2. But I do agree with what you say. In the round of 32, we do kind of not have a great idea how a lot of these teams are playing. But if they got teams of gunners right now, I really want to see what maps they're going to want to play and what they can make happen in those.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this in our quarterfinals. I'm excited to see Team Heat versus Team Wa, because Team Heat was a very strat heavy team. They definitely also had some gunners, and you can tell they're definitely organized and well. And Team Wa, they were also very strat heavy. So I like to see how these two teams collide against each other. especially if we end up going to Clubhouse, because both these teams, if I'm correct and remember, both these teams ended up playing on Clubhouse, so they will both have VODs on each other. Now, for the Mischief Kira game, correct me if I'm wrong, it was Kira that won last night, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so for that game, I didn't get to watch a lot of it, but from what I saw I did watch Mischief game. I was right here in the booth. The Mischief is a very strong team. I don't know if they're a very strat heavy team. If they are, they did not show any strats in their first game, as we're about to go here for map bans. But they didn't show a lot of strats in that first game. They more just trusted their guns and ran in and played for frags. But I mean, maybe they can. Maybe they are a strat heavy team. Only time will tell.
Absolutely. And as we move on to our map ban phase, we are going to see what Team Bazinga and Team Air Esports will be playing today. And yeah, they you are 100% correct. Team Heat and Team Waha both played on Clubhouse, and they are both two very evenly matched teams. I don't think I could really pick one above the other. Team Mischief, they were not strat heavy. They were very frag heavy. And Kira Esports, in that game, I'm a big fan of Mischief. I really did like the way they played. It was a very exciting game. But Kira Esports, they had a very commanding victory over Seven Sky, and Seven Sky is not a team to sleep on. They're a team that have played against a lot of higher tier orgs, and they've done very well against higher tier orgs. And Kira commanded that match the entire time. They understood the strategy. Their positioning was top tier. And as we move on to our first map ban, it is going to be Coastline. Coastline is known as one of the heavier run and gun maps, as you had kind of talked about. So what are you expecting out of this map ban phase?
Well, as we're speaking right now, Villa, there goes Villa. So I'm gonna be honest, I do not want to see another Clubhouse game. I think it would be cool to see these two teams match up in Consulate, just because that map is very strat heavy. It's not, you can just run in and gun. I mean, you do have to trust your guns, but it's also, there goes, and as we're speaking, there goes Cafe, but I really want to see a Consulate play. But as I know, not a lot of teams like to play Consulate.
Yeah, and Consulate's one of those cool maps that there's so much verticality there that you can play so many cool angles. I was watching the G2 game yesterday, and they were playing so many interesting angles, holding 2 floors above. And as you had mentioned, Clubhouse is going to be the next map off the board. So it's either going to be a theme park or Consulate game today.
Yeah, as there goes Oregon, which I'm not surprised. Not a lot of teams. Some teams will decide to go to Oregon just because of the fact that they have a shot for it, and not a lot of teams. Oh, we're going to be going to theme park. I think that this is going to be a great matchup, just because this is a very defender-sided map. And when it comes to competitive, what are you thinking about this, Pond?
I'm very, very surprised to see Theme Park played. Both these teams, Theme Park it's one of the newer maps into the competitive map pool. And I was playing a bit on Theme Park yesterday, and it's one of those maps that if the defenders get an early pick, the attackers have such an uphill battle to go for. And even if the attackers do get the first pick, I've seen multiple times the defenders, just based on their positioning alone, are able to pull off 2v5s and 3v5s. It's one of those maps that I'm very surprised to see these teams want to take, but it will undoubtedly create a very, very exciting game.
Yeah, that is for sure. I was very surprised. Usually Theme Park is the first or second band we'll see come out. I was thinking we were going to see a Theme Park band as it was down to Consulate Theme Park. I was thinking we were going to come see a Consulate game like I was hoping for. Because Theme Park is not liked by a lot of other teams, just because if you're not on defense first, it's going to be hard for sure for you to get a lead. However, we have seen in this whole tournament, we have seen 0 Theme Park play. So I want to see how teams match up. I think it'll be a good fight.
Yeah, and what are you thinking some of the keys are? Because we are saying it's a defender-sided map. What do you think some of the keys are for the attack in order to take control of the map, and how is the attack supposed to pull off some of these
So
some
if you're
things?
playing on the map or if you're playing on the site such like Armory, or not Armory, Throne, you have to work top down, and you also want to have a sledge or some breaching charges to open up that vertically. Just because there's gonna be roamers, I guarantee it. The site is just pretty small. There's just too many angles to hold. You will probably have 2-3 roamers. You'll have a more of like an SSG hold was how you would see a lot of roamers, and you have 1 or 2 back to site, and you'll just have everyone falling back as they get pushed out. I think it requires a lot of top-down work and dedicating a lot of utility to one side of a push.
Yeah, and I think I think that the top down playability is a huge part of this map. It's all about gaining control, and for me personally, the way I've always talked through my team, is the key really to how I've taken this is that you want to get control of cash, you want to get control of top dragon stairs, you want to move your way over to daycare hallway, you want to try and gain that control, take off any of the flanks, and you then want to push down yellow stairs and arcade stairs when attacking initiation throne, or my apologies, workshop throne. And then if you are attacking break room, or you're talking bunks daycare, you're attacking initiation vault, you really want to try and open up the walls in initiation, either from hatch room to initiation, or from initiation into bunks. And you want to try and collapse in on the defense. You want to get those early picks on the roamers, and from there you really do want to try and you want to force a turtle strategy. This is one of those maps that the main thing that the defenders can benefit off of is there's so much maneuverability on the map. So trying to limit the maneuverability and to force the defenders into a hole to defend, I think is going to be a big key.
Yeah, that is for sure. As we're trying to get these last few people into this lobby so we can start. Give me 1 second. Take it away, Pond.
Yeah. I was going to talk a little bit about, so we once we get everybody into the lobby, we still are waiting on one player from Air Esports. Once we get everybody into the lobby, what are some bans you're expecting to come out? Because theme park's one of those maps that a lot of bans can go a lot of different ways. I mean, for me personally, I guarantee you we're gonna have a Thatcher ban, and I'm fairly certain we're gonna see an Echo ban, or possibly a Mira ban. I think those are 2 very default bans on this map, but that does leave up 1 attacker and 1 defender.
Yeah, I do think we will see a lot of teams that are smart, or not. No, I'm not saying these teams are dumb, but a lot of teams that have more competitive play will ban like a Jaeger or a Wamai, because especially for the Armory, or the Throne, the Throne, you need to get those ban charges. Thatcher is almost banned all the time. You need to use a grenade, and if you don't have any way to burn those ADSs, a grenade that's the possibility of getting the wall or not getting the wall.
Yeah, and for me, I wouldn't be entirely surprised if in today's match we did see a Maverick ban. Maverick is very strong on this map. He's able to get the walls in initiation. He's able to get the walls into out of cash into my apologies. He's able to get the walls in cash into vault, and he's able to really get those. He's really able to get the walls in maintenance and barrels without the need of a Thatcher. So I would not be surprised if we do see a Maverick ban. And also, as you mentioned, he does bring frag grenades to the table, which is crucial in trying to get some of those charges if you are going to be bringing a more traditional hard breacher.
That is for sure. Especially, yeah, Maverick is very useful. But if you're attacking, you do have to be careful of those flanks, because there's so many spots that you're never fully protected. There are so many spots you can get flanked from and get a opening pick on too. So I'm excited to see, like these bands in chat. I am seeing some people are thinking Monty Thatcher maybe. Monty, if played correctly, can be very OP because he's just a drone that is almost impossible to be shot.
Yeah, and I really do think that Montang would be a good band to bring out here. I think that some of the default bands that you could have coming out, some of the more, I'm sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit over my words right now. I'm thinking of how a Montang would be played on this map. I think a Montang band would be pretty smart from some of the. I think a Montang band would be smart from either team, just because Montang is a very powerful operator. He is able to kind of do some of those phase checks, and now I'm thinking about it a little bit, yeah, Montang would be kind of smart because you can use him. You could use him to actually work on the roam clear rather than the site execute, and you're able to kind of force the roamers into certain situations. And if you're able to set up crossfires or set up flanks onto those roamers, you can really collapse in on them.
Yeah, that is for sure. The thing with these shields is unless you have something that can deny them, like you bring a legion or something that is very useful to deny them, they are very OP because they can, like you said, phase check with almost nothing they can be contested to. So I think there is going to be some Monty play. Maybe even a blitz if teams feel like having some fun.
Yeah, I mean, if we see a Montang ban, I definitely think we could see a blitz. I definitely think we could see some blitz play. Blitz is a pretty fun operator, especially on this map. I know personally in my 5 stack, we have one player that anytime we aren't doing super hot or we need some momentum on offense, he'll run blitz, I'll run Zofia, and then we'll do a two-man roam clear. And especially on this map, we're able to get control of top floor within the first minute of the round, and then that'll open up for our hard breachers to take. Personally, we like to take the wall outside of yellow stairs into workshop, and then we also like to try and get the one into barrels. But I personally think that the wall at the bottom of yellow stairs into workshop is one of the more powerful walls there, especially if you have that top floor control.
Yeah, I think we'll be seeing 3 people on drones at once, droning out the upstairs just so they can get it done quick and easy, and having two, maybe 3 people, depending on how many people are on drones, pushing up with those drones. So if they do see something, they can catch them off guard before they rotate out.
So looking at the map ban, I believe we are going to be seeing Bazinga on attack first and Air Esports on defense. We don't know a whole ton about these teams coming into the maps or into the match. I really am excited to see what they do have to bring to the table. Do you think we'll be seeing any?
I think we'll be seeing a bunch of gunfights. I'm just trying to get everything situated with our host, as we are trying to get this game up and away for you, just because we're having some problems over on our side with getting all these players in the lobby. But it does appear as everyone is going to be joining up now. We should be getting into the game here in a minute or so.
Yeah, we were just having some slight technical difficulties trying to get one of the players into the match. We currently are inviting everybody in, and we should be starting shortly. Do you think we'll be expecting any cheese strats today? I know yesterday we had seen Kiri Esports bring out the Frost on Cafe Dostoyevsky. Do you think we'll be seeing any fun picks today?
Maybe.
I was looking forward to.
maybe if a team gets a commanding lead, like a 4-1 or a match point, and the other team has 3-4, I think we could see some fun picks. Maybe a Frost, maybe a Cav shotgun, maybe a Frost Super 90. Maybe just have some fun, because at the end of the day, you're just trying to have fun, have a fun time. You're not. You're trying to make it to the finals, but I mean, you also want to have fun. You don't want to be sweating your brain out.
Yeah,
But I mean, on attack, maybe we might see a blitz, because some people like to troll with blitz and have, when they blind, to just make them look stupid.
yeah, and you had mentioned the Caviar play, which brings me up. We might be talking a little bit going back to like the ban phase. We also might see a Jackal ban, especially with the strong roam presence on this map. Actually, wouldn't be super surprised with a Jackal Maverick ban.
Yeah, that is for sure, because Jackal is a very, very strong operator, as he can just push those roamers back to site, or push them into lines of sight that they're holding and get the frag, just because Jackal can scan your footprints and find out exactly where you're at. Alright, as we are going into the match right now, we should be transitioning to our match any second.
Alright, we are beginning our match, which begins with the ban phase. As Errors starting out on defense first, they will have the first ban of the match. So we will be seeing how some of our predictions come out. I'm expecting on defense we will see an Echo ban and possibly a Mira or Kaid ban. And on attack, I'm thinking we'll see a Thatcher ban.
As a thermite ban goes on, it is very useful, because some people don't know is Ace cannot be used. He's banned because he's the newest operator. So that does make it harder to get the wall open unless they use a Habana, which is easier to bandit trick or arcade trick, if you will. A Monty ban, so a thermite Monty ban on attack. That is a thermite ban. That is a unique ban, but it is for sure not a useless ban.
Very interesting with the thermite ban. I mean, we're leaving both Thatcher and Maverick up on the board, and we do see a Kaid ban. There's no real surprise there, and I'm expecting that we'll see a Mirror Echo coming out right now, but that is a very surprising ban. I don't think I've seen thermite ban on Theme Park and Pro League yet.
Yeah, there goes the Echo. So Mira will be left up on the board. I know some people thought she was going to be banned, but a lot of things people don't realize is a Thatcher can bandit trick. If a good bandit tricker can be a Thatcher any day, if he has a decent reaction time and has a great headset, due to the fact of he just has so much experience. I won't be Jaeger ADS probably going to go down on both walls, or on all the walls, if not all the walls, because their frags are very possible, but we will see no frag grenades coming out.
That's a very interesting choice by Bazinga, and it looks like they are going to be bringing the Wamai, which is going to directly counter the Capitao, and they aren't six picking onto any frag grenade operators. So I'm not, if we don't see a whole lot of bandit tricking being played in Pro League nowadays, but if you are going to be bandit tricking, I mean, as long as the Wamai is able to place his utility where he can stop the firebolts, I think the odds of the attack being able to get some of these walls is not looking super great. I mean, I'm interested to see how they do take this round, and it looks like they are going to be having a Valkyrie rotating upstairs, getting the hatch. Would not be surprised if Valkyrie does play off site with the intel that she can get from her cameras or her evil eyes.
5 seconds to go.
What is her gadget called? Is it the blue eyes?
Locate and defuse a bomb.
You can call them belt cams, black eyes. It's whatever you prefer. We might see a run out come out from Val because she was prepping that window.
Yeah, it does look like she is going to be using her Valcams in order to gain some intel and possibly run out when they go to try and get that wall. I'm trying to see how the attack is pushing here.
It looks like they might be taking more of a cafe side push. They might be pushing from that side the most because they know, or they might be a drug lab push as they do need to clear out these roamers. But we might see an opening frag if they get too cocky and don't drone. As we will, we might see a double come out here from because they did not drone. That is a huge mistake, as now they do have a diffuser down in storage of the lab. That is a huge mistake. They need to be able to drone. Maybe it was miscommunication. Maybe they thought someone was already droning them in, or maybe it was a misdrone. But they need to have those drones. Those are very useful. If you don't have those drones, you don't know where they are. We might see this trade onto this Valkyrie now, though, as we will, but it does come at a cost of almost all of Nomad's health.
Yeah, and I think a very interesting thing right there is that's their Heart Breacher off the board. That's their Hibana and their Thatcher. Nobody droned them in. Thatcher didn't drone in the Hibana. Hibana just ran right in, and to be quite honest, Mute really didn't have much there to win that gunfight. He missed a few shots, but the thing is he had the reaction time advantage on the Hibana, and then he had the reaction time advantage on the Thatcher. There was no drone in. They had droned it out during the prep phase, but one of the big things you have to do in this game is you have to drone out before you jump in, because now all the defenders have to do is turtle down on the site, because there's only two places that the attackers can actually enter the site, and both of those places you can set up very good angles on, and there's really nothing the attackers can do about it, unless unless the defenders do throw this round somehow. As long as they set up their cross angles, I don't think there's any way that the defenders lose this.
Yeah, it's a lost cause at this point due to it was a 4v2. They're all on site. They haven't cleared out these roamers completely. As Capital will find the pick onto Mr. 404, but the only way he's going to get this is if he just runs through split, and he's being swung on by two operators. I don't think there's much way he's going to win this round, as we do see the first round go to Air Esports, showing how confident they are with their guns and how good they are.
Yeah, I really got to give it up. I got to give it up to the defense that round. They were playing a very aggressive roam. They were capitalizing off of the mistakes that the attack were making, and the attack didn't drone. And this is one of those maps that it's not like Coastline where you have a few areas you can drone and you understand, okay, I've droned these areas out. I don't think the defenders the defenders are going to be rotating in certain places. On Theme Park, I mentioned this previously, the defenders can really rotate freely. There's really no areas where they cannot rotate, and you have to drone out before you make these pushes, because at the beginning of that round they had their Thatcher and Hibana off the wall and off the board, and that's all they're hard breaching. Now they're stuck trying to push a bomb site. That is the hardest bomb site to push unless you get those walls open.
Yeah, that is for sure. So I think the huge fault, another thing with Theme is you have to be very thorough with your droning, because if you mess up a drone, that can cost someone's life, because there is so many spots you can hide or yeah, basically hide on this map. If you don't drone them out, it's over for you, just because there's, especially if you're not droning like that last round. I think they should readjust, hopefully, or else I think this can be over really fast if they don't start droning and adjust from their mistakes.
Yeah, I think droning is going to be a very big key for the attack. I'm really hopeful that they will understand some of the mistakes I've made. And it looks like the defense is playing incredibly aggressive. They're setting up for a bunch of runouts. They have the intel they need. They're having, it looks like, 4-man off site. Looks like they have one down in workshop, or sorry, one down in maintenance. They have one rotating over by cash, and they have one playing in bottom arcade. Right on arcade 1.
Yeah, let's talk while we're waiting for some stuff to happen. Let's talk about our matchups that we do have coming up. Are you excited? Oh, we do see a Falk run out, but she will get instantly traded out. We don't know as they will get another. As he whiffs, but he does get the down. I don't think he know. Yes, he does know he down. However, what do you think about that? Those runouts. Do you think it was a smart play? Do you think it was? What do you think about him?
I don't understand how they are able to get those runouts. Those are very common runouts, and the attackers brought a nomad. I think that one of the first things you do when you bring a nomad, and one of the keys for bringing a nomad, is you put those nomads on those runouts, especially when you are playing as aggressive of a team as Air Esports, and especially if you drone those out, you understand that, okay, they've prepped these windows, we're gonna nomad these off, and that should have been a free pick for the attack. Bandit should not have been able to hop out and trade out his teammate, and then hop out and then get man advantage from it. Valkyrie died, Bandit hopped out, trade out his teammate, and it should have been a simple trade right back.
Yeah, one thing these guys do lack on, as 2 Pro does find the frag onto Mute, or Mr. 404 as I like to call him, is their drone economy. They aren't using drones as I think they should, just because maybe they're newer team, maybe they're having miscommunication. But they need, especially being on attacker map, or especially being on this map, attacking on theme park map, when it's known to be a defender side of map, you have to be using everything you can to get you an advantage.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things that is actually feeding into that is the fact that they don't have a very strong drone economy. I think the defenders are really taking out a lot of their drones. They're really preventing them from getting this intel, because right now it looks like we only have one drone available for them.
Yeah, they only have one drone, and there goes as Nomad does is the last one live. I don't think she can push up. There's 10 seconds. They're just on the run. Jaeger will find the final frag onto Nomad. I don't think these guys are droning out the way they should be, because they need to work on their drone economy. That is for sure. Because without those drones, I mean, what are you gonna do? You can't just run and play off of sounds. That's not. I mean, you can, but that's not the greatest way to play. It's just not a smart way. Because we do see a kind of a troll pick come out here. Capcan and Clash. Okay, he's gonna be switching onto the Vigil. Maybe they said, hey, don't get too cocky yet. It's only 2 rounds. Oh no, we're gonna see Capcan. Okay, no, he's going back to the. Okay, these guys they're being very undecisive on what they want to do. Okay, Mozzie, Tachanka. Okay, I won't be surprised. I'm sure we'll see a 6 pick. Maybe not. Maybe they're getting they might be getting a little too cocky. No, don't use the 6 pick on the Capcan. We'll see both the Russian operators come out here. Do you think these teams are starting to get a little too toxic, as it's only been 2 rounds? Or not toxic, I guess cocky.
It has been 2 rounds, and I think that right now Air Esports thinks that they really are commanding this game. And I can see why they would think that. They are getting those early picks. They are able to create a man advantage, but one of the easiest things to do in Siege is if teams are playing overly aggressive and teams are bringing the gunfights to you, and teams are and one of the things Air Esports is doing is they're taking heads-up gunfights, and they're taking very aggressive peaks that if they're playing against a team that's able to frag off that, they would in every way lose those gunfights. But right now they're not losing those gunfights. So I think right now this is just showing their confidence in the way they're playing, and I think that they're just playing as confidently as they can. And I think that right now this Tachanka pick is incredibly interesting. It looks like he's going to be setting up his turret at the top of Yellow Stairs, which is actually a pretty strong place to set it up. I would set up the turret a little bit more towards the left so I could see the attackers coming in from bathroom or coming in from arcade. But it looks like he's going to be roaming just a little bit. And yeah, I mean, I think that Air Esports really is commanding this game right now, but I don't know if I necessarily agree with that pick onto the Tachanka this early in the game.
Yeah, that's for sure. My question is, I wonder what Tachanka's primary is, because he's just been holding the pistol. Is it the sausage, or is it the normal, the 9x9, if I'm correct? So I wonder what gun it is, because if he's going this trolley or having this much fun, I think he has the high chance of bringing the sausage. As Tachanka falls, and with only 50 HP being lost to the Jackal, Jackal can be a very strong pick due to the fact that he can push back every roamer there is if they play smart.
Yeah, and I think that one of the big things is that Tachanka, as I had said earlier, he should have played it a little bit more towards the left, and now we are seeing the teams really capitalize off of the aggressive play style of Air Esports. As I had mentioned before, when you're playing off-site this much, if they bring, and I was going to mention this, but we had moved on to the round, bringing a Jackal will really allow you to capitalize off this, and the Jackal is able to get a triple kill onto the round, but he is quickly traded off by the Jaeger.
Yeah, he just got too much damage. I think this round is won for Bazinga. I'm not going to call anything right now, but I'm just calling it as I see it. I think they just got too cocky. They brought both Russian operators, especially in Tachanka. You will almost never see him played in a competitive setting, just because of the fact that he offers almost nothing. But I won't be surprised if we start seeing him once he does get his buff. Have you heard about his buff, Mr. Pond?
Tachanka's buff?
Yeah, that he's supposed to be getting next season.
Yeah, his buff looks absolutely insane. I don't understand how how that's gonna really fare on Pro League. But Jaeger currently with a triple kill, and he's quickly traded out by the Thatcher, and the plant is going down. It is going to be all on the Kapkan to retake it. Oh, Thatcher saw his gun from the corner right there. I don't know if he saw it, and it's going to be a one-on-one.
And he clutches it up. It was a 2v5. They clutched it up. They needed that. That's gonna put them up 3-0. I don't know. Did they not have a drone on him, or did he just not see him? Because I know he saw his gun. That's for sure.
Jackal came in and had those three very early picks, three crucial picks. They had a 5v3 man advantage. He was quickly traded out, which made it a 4v3. Then it was a 4v2. And you had a Jaeger and a Kapkan. You knew their positioning, and you took one-on-one gunfights with him. You allowed him to rotate around. You only took those one-on-one gunfights. And I was gonna say Jaeger. Jaeger was able to get those kills, and then they saw the gun of Kapkan. They knew his positioning, but I don't know if he saw the gun, and I think Kapkan was really just able to rotate in. I don't think they had the intel they needed on him, and Kapkan was really able to get those picks. And yeah, that was a round that the defenders had absolutely no right of winning. I think that the attackers had the control they needed. They had what they needed open, but they lost the gunfights, and it really was their downfall.
I'm lost for words at this point. It's a 5v2. I mean, just you guys should be trying to make us go for a site execute, be holding cross angles onto almost everything, if not everything. It's a 5v2. You guys should be going for a wall. Don't get cocky and go for gunfights purely. You should be going for the plant and then make them run into your crossfires. I don't know how that does get thrown that hard. I mean, I've seen like a 2v2 or even a 2v3 occasionally a rare 2v4, but I mean, a 2v5, you have everyone alive. Your whole team's alive, and you throw to a cap can and a Jaeger.
Yeah, and I think I really do have to give some kudos to the Jaeger. He was hitting his shots. He was understanding, not taking too aggressive of peeks. He was allowing the defenders to come to him because he knew he had the intel on them. I think he had a lot of sound cues, and we see them drone out storage cubby right now, and I think that's going to really help the attackers push in now.
Jaeger was in barrels, but I think he got misdroned. I don't think they saw him. I don't think they completely checked all the corners. That might... Oh, no. I must have just saw his outline through the wall, or he did rotate back. I think this bandit, he's like, if they want to come to me, I'm not scared. I have confidence in my gunfights. I will... I think he has that mindset of, I'm going to win these gunfights. Which is a great mindset to have, especially with this Buck. He might see a Valk swing onto him, and Buck might lose his life here very soon.
I don't necessarily...
He's just going for the res.
That is a very, very good pick from the attack. That is the Jackal down, which will prevent the roaming, and that is the Hibana down. That is one of their hard breachers, and now all they have is the Maverick.
As we do see, it is not even. But there's Jaeger right in split. If he peeks that, he might find the pick. No, he is not gonna land his shots, so he will fall back. But he's like, screw it, I'm going right back. We might see. Oh, they do not have the holes open at the top for the nitro. But he does see his head. I don't think he saw. I don't think Mai was paying attention. You could easily see Maverick's head, but he might try and find the frag on his Maverick while he's Maverick tricking the wall.
Attackers have located a bomb.
As no, Capcan's body is going to take some shots, so he won't be able to get the frag onto Maverick. I don't know how Mai didn't see that Maverick's head. Maybe he just saw it. Maybe that's just some debris, but correct me if I'm wrong, but you could see his head, right? You do see a flank. He's gonna get them all, I think. Now there's just one more left. Going to the deagle. As that is the round. The Maverick, they don't have the Nomads are not up. You have to use your Nomads to your full advantage. You just let a Valkyrie get a 3k flank on you. That cannot happen. I'm just lost for words with what's going on right now.
Yeah, they knew the Valkyrie was roaming off site, and I don't think they made any attempt to frag her. They knew she wasn't playing on site. They had the Nomad. They didn't set up the Nomads in the common. I don't know if they had set up the Nomads and that Valkyrie had gotten rid of the Nomads, but Nomad was playing off site. Nomad had Valkyrie was playing off site, and Valkyrie had really no right in winning any of those gunfights. And you saw that the Maverick was pre-firing those stairs, and he was pre-firing them thinking that Valkyrie was going to be flanking from behind, and then looked away. And then that was the 3k that came in. I think that Jaeger had taken one of those. I think Jaeger did get one of those kills, but even so, those were 3 kills that were a direct result from that Valkyrie flank. And I am also at a loss for words. That is a very, very, very important misplay from the attack, and I really did think that cost them the round.
I thought we were gonna see a good fight, maybe go for trade, but I mean, it's just obliteration by Air Esports. I mean, I don't know if it's their comms, but they need to work on these for sure, and work on their drone economy for sure. I'm not trying to trash talk this team, but they need to work on it. They need to practice. Maybe it's a new team. Maybe it's a brand new team. Maybe they've never played together. Maybe this is their first time ever scrimming together, not playing comp together. But if they're going to come into a comp setting like this, they need to be practicing. Because these teams, for sure, do not take. These teams are practicing together all day, almost every day. I'm sure I've heard it from some of my friends that are in this league. They need. I'm sure we're gonna see a Valk run out. I don't know. They do have someone holding it. It looks like, but I think Valk is gonna be confident in her gun skills, so that she might just run out and say, "Hey, I see you. You don't know which window I'm gonna run out from. Screw it."
Yeah, I'm not quite sure we're going to see that Valk run out. I think that Valk sees that her time has come, and it looks like she sees the Nomad holding the drop, so I don't think she is going to have that run out. But I don't know why Nomad isn't putting the Nomads on the windows in order to protect herself from them. And it looks like they are going to be droning out control. They are holding the top of red, their top of Dragon Stairs, and it looks like they're trying to get that crossfire onto the alibi playing at the top of Dragon. Looks
I
like
think
alibi.
Valk did attempt to run out because I did hear a Nomad go off. No, someone got hit by a Nomad, so that is one Nomad charge down. I don't know where that was at, but this Sophia, she already used her explosive on a hatch. That's why I would bring. I know some people wouldn't prefer it. If you have a Nomad, use those Nomads to cover your flank. Don't use a Claymore if you can bring breaching charges. As we do have a disconnect, we might see a rehost call come out. I'm not sure though. Maybe he just said. Maybe he lagged out. Maybe he said. I don't know what could have happened. We might see a rehost call come out here. So we do see Cav from downstairs, from behind. Just get the. Will we see Nintero? We will see Nintero. Does he get the Nintero off in time though?
Located by attackers.
Yeah,
he
no.
does not.
He got the team kill in time. Which is, some people are like, why would you team kill your teammate? That's not very smart. But sometimes you have to, just to be able to save your whole team from knowing exactly where you're at. We might see this Sophia not pay attention. She might get fragged on by Alibi if she doesn't check her corners. She doesn't check her corners, and she does lose her life to Alibi. Now it's down to a 3v1 with the Nomad and the Fuser down. So this Nomad is going to have, as a Nomad charge does get disabled, but where is that Nomad
15
at?
seconds left.
I think this round's lost. I think he might just say, screw it, I'm just going to save the KD. No, he's going to try and push, but
5
he
seconds
just
left.
found I just don't think there's time. Yeah, there's 2 seconds. I mean, they're not going to peek him. It's just useless. Oh, as he does get the frag, though. He does end up getting the cheeky shot with almost no time left. He just sits here. And he does swing. Yep, it's a one tap because they know she's low. Do you think we're gonna end up seeing a 7-0 here, Pond?
I don't know. I mean, I gotta give it up to Bazinga. They are really trying to do their best. They do have a few players fragging out, but taking these heads-up gunfights, going in without the intel that they need, I think that it's really not. I think it's not really looking super great for Bazinga as their fifth player's electricity is out. So I don't think we are going to be seeing him. I don't think we're going to be seeing a fifth player in the game.
I'm not sure how these the rules for this league is, but usually if your player disconnects and doesn't reconnect, it might be a forfeit for the map. But it also might end up be just tell them, hey, play a 4v5, try to your best ability. You most likely won't win if the team plays smart, but try your best. Do the best you can.
Yeah, and I really do feel for Bazinga. You can definitely tell they are a newer team. They are trying to kind of wrinkle out some of these things. This might be one of their first matches in more of a competitive play style, because I do see the way that they are attacking, and it's more sort of a ranked attack. And the way that the way that Air Esports is playing right now is Air Esports is just they're I don't see a whole lot of strategy from them. I think that they're just kind of playing. They're really just taking gunfights. They're roaming. They're rotating around sites. They understand. They have the game sense to know where these attackers will be coming from. And I think that they're just taking the map as such. They're not doing any crazy strategies or focusing on trades or or any real comp style type defense. I think that they're just, again, really playing.
It looks just like a standard rank setup. I mean, maybe they don't have a lot of strats, but I mean they for sure have guns. There's no doubt in my mind that they can't gun.
A different perspective.
Yeah, and I do have to give it up to some of the attackers. I mean, I'm not quite sure how to say his name. Barry Andy from Bazinga, the guy playing on the Jackal right now, has really been doing a lot for his team, and he really has been fragging out. He has gotten 2 opening picks so far, and has been able to clear out a lot of these roamers. And I think that his play has really opened up a lot for his team. And I'm not quite sure who was playing on the Zofia last time around, but Zofia was fragging out, was really getting the picks that she needed to get, and was winning those gunfights. But I think that one of the things that this team is lacking is a strong support play, a strong plant-focused play. I think that they don't have a lot of those roles really defined, and that really is evident in what they play. And we are seeing Alibi take a gunfight with the Nomad. Alibi quickly loses her life, taken out by Godly on the Thatcher, and he quickly gets into a gunfight with the
That's gonna make it a 4v3 in Bazinga's favor. Do you think we're gonna see their first round come in here?
I think it's absolutely possible. I think that they are really getting 2 very crucial picks. They got rid of the Jaeger, and it looks like Jackal is taken out by the cap cannon. So now it is a 3v3.
There goes the Jackal. That is their. He's a pretty consistent fragger. I mean, he wins most of his gunfights, but it's not that time. As they still have this one guy behind an initiation behind that unbreakable box, I guess. They're gonna need to make him go away. As Capcan is just here and just fragging out. As now it's 1v3 because they do have that one down. This is gonna get swung on. That's gonna be 6-0. We are gonna be going to match point. Do you think they're gonna take it here, or do you think they're gonna end up taking? Or do you think Ares gonna take it here, or do you think Bazing is gonna get their first round and start a comeback?
So I really try not to rag on any of these teams. I really do point out a lot of the things that they're doing right or doing wrong, and that's my style of casting. I do not think that Bazinga is going to take this through because they do have that man down. They don't have that man advantage, and I think that that's really going to be detrimental. However, it is going to be a Armory Throne defense, and I think that Armory Throne is one of the sites that you could defend with a man down. I think it's very possible to pull this out if they're able to get an early pick onto the attack, and if they are able to equalize the 4v4, and then from that set up their crossfires, set up the site, make it harder for the attackers to push. If they're able to do all of that, I think that they could easily take this round. But based on the way that Air Esports is playing, I've not seen them on attack yet. They could be a very great defensive team, then not put anything together on attack, especially on a defender-sided map like this. I really think that it's if Bazing is not able to get an early pick and create an even playing field for them, I don't see this going Bazinga's way.
Yeah, I think at this point, it's a lost cause. Even the thing that they have to do is that they just can't. I would not say roam on this site because you guys do have the man advantage, and you guys can't get greedy for kills just to make it even. Because if you do get greedy and they're holding an angle and you lose that gunfight, you hurt your team even more. So I think they just stay down on site, don't risk their life, and just play time and hold them out for as long as you can.
Yeah, I think that is going to be their best bet because there's a 6 pick off the hard breacher. The attackers have no hard breacher, but it looks like they're already going to be trying to take site. They have one playing at the bottom of Dragon Stairs, and that is an early pick onto the mute. And he
I don't
is
think they know, but Ash is already on site. Ash is already just hiding on site. And there goes Mute. He does get refragged, but that they have numbers. Lion's pushing in. Lion does fall. That's there goes their line. And now it's a 2v2. Maybe they do have diffuser down in sight, however. Now it's a 1v2. Do you think we can see them take their first round here? I mean, it is very possible, but do you think we will see it? Or do you think he'll clutch?
I think PR4 is the best gunner they have on their team. I think that if anybody is going to clutch it, is going to be him. But diffuser's down. Jaeger has a really good angle on that, and I think that this was really their match to lose. He's going to get into a gunfight. It's going to be a 1v1. Thatcher's on very low health right now, and it looks like Legion's going to be trying to rotate in. The drone called out his position, so now all Thatcher has to do is hold the angle, because now they have to retake the site. But he doesn't have diffuser. And Legion's able to take that down. That is a 4v5 that was won by the defenders. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I was surprised that he didn't just hold an angle on the door, because he did know that Legion is going to have to push and fight back into his own site, or else he could be risking that plant going down. So I would have just, if I was him, I'd sit behind the throne, hold an angle onto that door, or maybe go take Jaeger's spot and go prone on that door and just wait for him to come to me, because they were on the drone. They knew where he was coming from. And he's on such low HP, he needs to just hold an angle. He can't be swinging or anything.
I think that was a very I will say I think that was a very foolish decision done by the attack that round. Instead of playing to their man advantage, trying to do a more methodical approach, they got aggressive. They rushed in. They were able to get a very quick pick, and it was a 3v5. But they didn't drone. They didn't know that Bandit was playing in maintenance. Bandit got the picks off, and I think that their aggressive playstyle is they thought that they didn't need to do the fundamentals. They could just take these heads-up gunfights and win, and the defense punished them for it. I really have to give a lot of credit to Bazinga there. They really, really did come in clutch for their team. I think that they really did come in clutch, and they said, look, we're not out of this fight yet. We might be a man down, but we're able to really play off of your aggressive playstyles. And if you're going to just come to us and bring these gunfights to us, we're going to take these gunfights and we're going to try and do our best to win. And I really got to say that is very good on Bazinga. And it looks like you're going to see an Omri pick. I would not be surprised if Omri just tries to rush in through bathroom and try and get some early picks. But if the defenders are able to get that, they'll bring it very quickly to a 4v4. So I think that the attackers really need to work on playing the fundamentals, not playing super aggressively, and they need to be able to, I mean, even though they do have the man advantage, I think that they need to, like, in order to win the game, I think they really need to play to those fundamentals.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if we see this one Amaru just jump in and get a frag or two, because she does have that G8. As we do see Legion get the opening pick onto Sledge, there goes them getting those hatches and stuff.
A bomb has been located.
Yeah, Sledge was able to get the hatches, but the early pick was there. Now it's an even playing field. Sledge was one of their good fraggers too, and I think that they're going to be losing some frag grenades. And it looks like the defense is going to be playing aggressive, trying to get these picks and trying to make the most happen out of it.
I think this Amaru is about to jump in, because they are starting to flash and use their utility. Yeah, she's drawing them in. She's going in. Yep. As she does find the frag on too, he does get a double, but Ash just instantly trade Legion out. It now puts it down to a 2v2. All full HP. Oh, there goes the Bandit. Now, Doc, will he overstim himself just maybe to take this gunfight?
Yeah, it's now a 1v2 now. I say that it's going to be a 1v1. It's going to be the top fragger on the dock right now.
And there is the game. And there is the game. We'll see GG's coming out in the chat. That is the game. Is that the fastest game we've had this Because now we have an hour till our next. We have roughly an hour till our next match. Is that the fastest game we've seen this season?
I don't think so. I believe we had a 7-1. It was either Tilt Esports I think it was Team Peak that had the 7-1.
Oh, okay. So it was.
Yes, I believe it was Tilt Esports had the 7-1. I really do have to give it up to Bazinga. They did play very well there on defense. They were able to get those picks off on the attack, with the attack playing a little bit more aggressive, not playing as much on intel. But yeah, I mean, I got to give it up to Air Esports. They won that match. They were able to play aggressively. They were able to roam around, and I think that they really did win on that defense. I think Bazinga does have a lot to work on, but I do have to say they are a promising team. They are playing to their fundamentals. They are doing a lot of the right things, and you saw even as the rounds progressed, they were correcting a lot of the errors that they were making. They weren't trying the same things twice. They were trying to keep the defense on their toes, but the defense seemed to always have the answers, even with them switching it up. But very, very promising game from them. I do feel bad about having the 4v5 with the man on their team having the electricity go out. I gotta commend Air Esports for their win. I wanna thank everybody for joining our stream. We are going to be going live again at 10. We are going to be seeing Syndicate Esports playing Ascent. And Alex, I don't know if you have any closing words.
All I can say at this point is hopefully we have a more exciting match in this next match, because I would for sure like to see a good solid fight. Maybe take some overtime. I mean, I want to see a solid fight between two powerhouse teams. I think that would be a great fight.
Yeah, and I think that Ascent Esports and Syndicate is going to be a really good game. I know both of those teams are a little bit more unknown. I thought I had seen on the ESL website some play from Ascent Esports and them being a little bit more of a powerful team. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that match. I want to thank everybody for joining this stream, and we will see you all at 10 o'clock.
And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, a bass guitar. Simmer down and mess me up. Tripping like I'm Jimmy at Woodstock. Drive me around in your red Ford. Shivers down my spinal cord. Oh, 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 oh. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes sound funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes sound funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Holding.
They said, don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They say, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. You won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't Life is waiting on the other side. Follow me into the underground. Watch the world changing as the sun goes down. Follow me into the underground. Follow me down, me down. Follow me into the yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Better off, better off. I am wicked, you're insane. But I wouldn't have it any other way. If we're knocked out, we'll go the distance. Pound for pound, we're a perfect match. Pulling punches, we're toe to toe. We're always on the road. Worse or better, we can't stop, we can't stop. 'Cause together we're better off, and we can. Better off, better off. Better off. I am crooked, you're clean cuts. I'm wide-eyed, your eyes are shut. If we're knocked out, we'll go the distance. Pound for pound, we're a perfect match. Pulling punches, or toe to toe. We're always on the road. Worse or better, we can't stop, we can't stop. 'Cause together we're better off, and we can. And we can. 'cause it's so hard to let you go. You go.
I get lost inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, the Tahoe closest starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep, I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. I forgive the pain you gave to me so long ago. Sleepless nights I laid awake just begging to let go. I almost got to suicidal thoughts, but you stepped in. An angel sent from heaven showed me how to live again. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. My love, I'm gone, I need to be strong. The darkness, it tried to swallow me. Some days I fall, but I hear your call. I pray I don't hit the ground. Gravity. 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 Gravity.
So cliche. I see the sparks you throw my way. I know your name is written on everyone's mind. Your whole show is captivating me, but don't think that I can see right through that disguise. But when you got close to me, you had me falling so hard, baby, yeah, now I get it. You got heads turning, and you don't even try. Well, would you look at that? My glass is empty, glass empty. How about I get another drink, baby, drink, baby? Okay, I get it. becomes a thing, maybe just for tonight, then I'll be over you. But when you got close to me, you had me falling so hard, baby. Yeah, now I get it, you got heads turning, and you don't even try. Well, would you look at that, my glass is empty. How about I get another drink, baby? Okay, I get it, you got fire burning, right there in your eyes. Oh yeah. All alive. The devil's in the detail, lingered inside. Oh, a holy crime. But how can I hide you without an alibi? It's a rebel's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence. I can't wait no longer. I'm playing with the monsters. Everything that brought me alive. Going around like nonsense. Playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a rebel's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence without an alibi. Smoking gun, you got me on the run. We know that will come. We're out up till dawn. But how can I hide you without an alibi? It's a rebel's fight without an alibi. Took my innocence. I can't wait no longer. I'm playing with the monsters. Everything that brought me alive. Going around like nonsense. Playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a rebel's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence without an alibi. Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in us. They know we'll burn down the night. Come Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up, babe. Tonight we gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up.
Get up. We want you to get on your feet. Stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, right now. Pick your body till we black out. So get the fuck up. So cover and dock, you're out of luck, we don't give up. Yeah, we're going up, next floor is us, you're riding with us. We want you to get on your feet. Stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, right now. Pick your body till we black out. So get the fuck up.
skin, you can see it beat, intoxicating your energy. First time in so long you felt the heat, evaporating your bindings. Move like the sunlight, darkness can't hold you here. Bold and bright, push through the atmosphere. This is your dawn, this is your break. Move like the, move like the, move like the sunlight, darkness can't hold you here. Bold and bright, push through the atmosphere. This is your dawn, this is your break. Move like the, move like the. I know the sadness that cripples you. It comes in waves and out of the blue. But there are days you feel freedom too. Bask in the glorious lightning. Move like the sunlight, darkness can't hold you here. Bold and bright, push through the atmosphere. This is your dawn, this is your break. Move like the, move like the, move like the sunlight, darkness can't hold you here. Bold and bright, push through the atmosphere. This is your dawn, this is your break. Move like the, move like the. Move like the, move like the. Move like the, move like the. Radiate, radiate, radiate. Gravitate, gravitate, gravitate. Innovate, innovate, innovate. Move like the sunlight.
I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow, I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt the glow. The warmth inside me, it kept me afloat. It felt like heaven, it found my bones and gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. My best friend to 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. They gained an angel, I lost a friend. I felt like dying again and again. I went through hell, stared at death, but I keep fighting with each living breath. I saw no way out from where I stood. Felt like the fire had burned me through. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. my best friend. Oh my God, don't do this, for I must die. I need my best friend. Oh my God, don't do this, for I must die. I need my best friend. Oh my God, don't do this. Oh my God, I need my best friend.
Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the Streamline Minor League Tournament. We are going to be moving on to our second match of the day. It is going to be Team Ascent versus Syndicate Esports. We just had our first match of the game. It was Air Esports versus Bazinga, and it was a fairly interesting match. It was on Theme Park. We got to see some very interesting play coming out. Air Esports was able to take that map 7-1. I will be casting today with Heinz. And,
How you going?
And I'm gonna bring it over to Heinz. Introduce yourself. Let us know. What are you thinking about this match today?
So I'm Eisenstein, and I think that this is going to be an interesting one. Ascent Esports and Syndicate, two I believe strong teams, and I haven't seen much gameplay from them, but I'm excited to see what happens tonight.
Yeah, and currently we're going to bring up some of our brackets. We have our Division A bracket up, and you can see Air Esports is going to move on to play the winners of Sage Esports and Rival, and the winner of the next match, the Division B match, will be the winner of Syndicate and Sen Esports will go on to play the winner of Nevermind Esports and Sabertooth Wolves. Now, I'm really excited to see what we have going on for the matches today. I love to see that theme park play. It's a very interesting match. It's a very interesting map to see, especially in this style of a tournament. I know we see it a little bit in Pro League, but it is one of the newer maps that's been added, especially since the rework. And we got to see Air Esports go 6-0 on defense. So, Alex, do you want to talk a little bit about that match? I know you and I had both casted it. What are some of the things you saw? What were some of the keys that you saw, and how Air Esports really did take over that map?
I'm gonna try and say this the nicest I can, which is a struggle for me. But they, how do I say this? They put up a fight, but when they started putting up their fight, it was too late. They were already down. They're already at match point 6-1, and or 6-0, I guess. And they did lose that man pretty early into the game with his power that went out. So that did put them at the instant disadvantage. So that is that's really all I can say. As they did get, I don't want to say slammed, but they did get pretty roughed up during the game against.
Sounds like they got wrecked.
I mean, if you wanna say that, you can say that, but I'm not gonna.
In the first half, we'll say.
Yeah, but they started putting up a good fight on defense, especially on that theme park map, which is very defender sided.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, I know I'm somebody that will rail on teams of what they do right and what they do wrong, and I gotta say that Bazinga was really picking it up as the game went on. You could definitely tell that they were gaining some steam. They were fixing a lot of the issues that they had. They were fixing a lot of the drone places they had. They were focusing a little bit more on their drone economy. But as they were fixing those mistakes, Air Esports is playing very aggressively. They were using the entire map to their advantage, and they just dominated the match. And on attack, I will say that Bazinga did play very well, especially being a man down, and especially on defense. That's super hard. But they were able to get those early picks. They were able to equalize out the game. They were able to play against the aggressive game style that Air Esports was bringing. But the problem is just as you'd said, Alex, it was a little bit too late to bring the map back. And it really, that 6-0 hole is really hard to bring back. Even though Theme Park is seen as one of the more defender-sided maps in the game, being in a 6-0 hole, riding into the second half is incredibly hard to dig yourself out of.
I think a lot of what that is tilt from the initial losses. It can really carry over to the whole game, and no matter whether or not you're coming back, you've got that looming match point scoreline overhead of you.
Yeah, and something that played really big into that map was there was a thermite ban, and we don't typically see a thermite ban, but because a lot of teams will end up bringing Maverick, but we didn't see a lot of strong Maverick play. We were able to see Maverick played and got the wall and barrels once and was able to open up into Armory, but a flank from the Valkyrie quickly shut down that attack. And I think that not having the thermite there really did throw Bazinga off their game. And they were losing their hard breach very early on into the round. And I think it was the first round of the game. They lost their Hibana and Thatcher the first 30 seconds into the round. And then at that point, they're attacking Armory Throne. If you don't have any hard breach and you're attacking Armory Throne, all the defenders have to do is hold off Double Door and hold off Dragon Door, and that's it. That's game. You can't really push there because it was a I believe it was a 4-on-3 situation. And I mean, I will give it up to Bazinga. They were getting picks after that. Air really was just playing aggressive. They were playing a very strong 3-man roam. and they were just going out trying to get the picks, and they were really just kind of going for the picks. So I gotta say, very, very good for very, very well done by Air, but I'm very interested to see how that play style really does fit in, especially against other teams, because I know we'd seen Tilt Esports play, and one of the most strat heavy teams out there I've seen so far has been Virus Esports, and I know they're in a very different division, but I think that kind of style of play really could directly counter the aggressive nature of Air Esports ways. So moving on to this match, what are some things you're looking forward to, Ides? Because I know that
Go ahead.
I know that we've seen a lot of Clubhouse, we've seen Coastline, we've seen Cafe played a few times. What maps are you looking forward to? What are some of the maps that you want to see played?
Well, for sure, I'd like to see the theme park or a villa, see something exciting happen. Maybe Cafe again, or if we want to go back into some older maps, Consulate would be a nice one. I haven't casted a Clubhouse match yet, but that could be exciting, could be fun. But I think top two would be theme park and villa, just for something different.
Yeah, Clubhouse is a pretty fun match to cast. I know we were talking a little bit before this, and Clubhouse is really one of those gut check maps. It's one of those ones that you could either frag out on, or you could play very strong strategy, and you're able to kind of see how the teams are able to go through the attack, going through a checklist. I talk about checklists a lot as an attacker. I think that's just the engineer in me. It's where you want to try and gain the map control, open up the angles that you want, set up the crossfires, and then you want to be able to gain all that control and then go on to your execute. How are you going to push the site? How are you going to get the picks? Are you going to go for picks? Or are you going to go for a plan? And for the defenders, it's really about how are you going to hold off the attack? Are you able to get an early pick? A lot of maps are really won on the early picks by the defense. Villa's a map that's very, very strongly defender-sided if the defenders get the first pick without being traded. So I'm really excited to see kind of how some of these teams play. Clubhouse really is one of those checks where it's like, are these teams able to have a coordinated defense? Because if they don't have a coordinated defense, the attackers will immediately punish them for that. And I gotta say, I am really looking forward to today's match. I'm always looking forward to the matches, but especially today as we're moving on to our group of 32.
Yeah, definitely. And I think tonight's going to be an awesome night. I think there's going to be some interesting plays, hopefully, and some of that APAC stuff we see, like the Cafe game last night, where half the defenders being outside half the time, and then them sprinting in when the side switched. It's just, you'd like to see some chaos, don't you?
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about the teams we have playing. We have Syndicate Esports and Ascent Esports up here now. And what team are you? I guess we have to go based off the names alone. What team are you expecting to see take this match today?
Syndicate's audience favorite. Oh well, then we've got to go for the vote on Ascent, for the underdog. You can only hope. I'm not certain yet, but Syndicate, very cool name. Ascent, reasonable too.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I'm gonna go for Ascent. I got a fan on the team. He reached out to let me know this morning that my mic was a little bit too loud. Del Ryder, but he's playing for Ascent today, and I'll give it up to them. I don't know a whole lot about these teams. I believe it was Syndicate that had played in one of the APAC South qualifiers. Not quite sure on that. But I really am looking forward to see, because in this group of 32, we get to kind of get an idea for these teams and how they play. So as we move on to the group of 16, we're able to make a little bit more of an educated guess on what teams are going to go. So we're moving on to the map ban phase right now. Yeah, I'm excited to see what map we're going to be taking out. And just for some of our newer viewers, we are playing with the Pro League map pool. So it'll be Clubhouse, Coastline, Consulate, Cafe, Oregon, Theme Park, and Villa. We've seen a lot of Clubhouse play, but I'm hoping to see something new.
Yeah, we saw that the Cafe last night. The game earlier on tonight on Theme Park. Well, as I say, that Theme Park gets banned by Syndicate, and we're moving on to the Ascent's ban next.
Yeah, theme park's going to be taken off the board very early, and I didn't expect to see any theme park play in the earlier in some of the earlier matches, because it is a map that you need to have a lot of coordination in order to pull off those attacks, and because the defenders can rotate around a lot. You have dragon stairs, yellow stairs, arcade stairs, and then you have a bunch of hatches. So like, if you don't clear out those roamers, they'll punish you for it. And we really did see that in that last game. So you have to have a coordinated attack. You have to be able to really go through the checklists, gain the control you have, cut off the flanks, and then go to the execute. But with that, by the time you get all that done, you only have about a minute left in the round. So it doesn't surprise me theme parks being taken off. We are waiting for the second ban to come in from Ascent Esports. But yeah, the theme park play was pretty interesting. I don't expect to see a whole lot of theme park play in the tournament. I also don't really expect to see a whole lot of, and even though it is one of my favorite maps to cast, I don't think we are going to be seeing much Consulate play, because Consulate's one of those maps that it's very weird if it's defender attacker sided. And as I say that, Consulate will be taken off the board by Ascent Esports.
Yeah, and another map that I personally don't expect to see a lot of is Villa, but I think casting that would be a lot of fun too. And Oregon is taken out by Syndicate, and Cafe by Ascent. So there goes those two. On to the fifth map. Sorry, go on.
So yeah, two very quick picks coming in there. I think they saw the VODs from yesterday. Coastline is taken off, so we're either going to be having Clubhouse or Villa. We're either going to be seeing something new, or we're going to be going back to, and we are going to be seeing Villa today. Your dreams have been answered.
I think that a lot of these, like surprise picks are going to be people's trap cards. Like the theme park, one team may not think that the theme park's going to be played by any stretch of the imagination, but then they pull it out last second, and that's where the surprises happen and some fun plays come out. One team's more prepared than the other sometimes.
Yeah, and I think Villa's one of those maps that, again, I was saying before, it's really going to rely on who gets these first picks. Oh, excuse me. I've had a chest cold for the past few days. Not COVID. So it's one of those maps that some of the earlier picks really determine how the attackers or how the defenders will win the round. If you get the first pick and it's not traded out, it puts you at a severe advantage. More so on defense, if the defenders get the first pick, they're typically pretty poised to win it. And it has been seen in Pro League to be a little bit more defender sided, but based on the meta we've seen in this tournament, there hasn't been a very definite meta. We are going to be moving on very shortly once all the players get into the map. We are going to be moving on to the ban phase. What operators are you expecting to see banned today?
On Villa, on defense, probably looking at more of a, the hard breach denial ban there from the attacker maybe, and so a bandit or a mute possibly, but more likely the bandit there. Okay, and on attack, I'd say it probably could be more of a hard breach hard breach ban meta on this match, I think, but that's just a guess. What do you think?
So yeah, I'm trying to think because I'm not quite sure how either of these teams are going to play it. I know personally, you see a lot more Pro League teams being comfortable having the Thatcher being played on this map. I could easily see a Habana ban, and I could definitely see a Montaigne ban. And on defense, I'm pretty sure we're going to see a Valkyrie ban, either Valkyrie or Echo. And I could see a Mira ban. Mira is a very powerful operator, especially in the higher levels of play. You don't really see Mira played a whole ton, but I know a lot of very default strategies, especially when defending into study, is playing the double Miras onto the study walls, and it really, really does open up a lot for that. It does open up a lot for that map. I wouldn't be surprised seeing a Valkyrie ban. Wouldn't be surprised seeing an Echo ban, and I also wouldn't be super surprised seeing a Kaid ban. There's some pretty cheeky Kaid spots that you can get on the map.
Yeah, definitely. I think again, this being such a large map, there's a lot of opportunities for Valk cams, and like you see the Valk cams watching 90 and from top of red. There's all sorts of different spots to check. And maybe we'll see something new in the way of Valk cams if she's not banned, but otherwise, I'd say it'd be a healthy ban to pick.
Absolutely, and I really do think that when defending, like, one of the stronger bomb sites that at least we've seen in Pro League has been the Aviator games and the trophy sanctuary. Oh my. But we also do see a lot of kitchen dining played. What map or what defense rotations do you think we'll see through? Do you think we'll see any kitchen dining? Do you think we'll see any living library defenses? What are your thoughts?
I feel like we're probably going to see one team at least being a bit default, doing the rank strats. But otherwise, I really hope we do see a living hold and maybe a few kitchen holds here and there. But I mean, you're so used to attacking defending the top floor sites. We'll probably see a lot of upstairs play. What do you think?
So upstairs is typically very, very comfortable for a lot of teams to play. You don't have to worry a lot about the vertical play. You don't have to worry a lot about the different modes of entry. So I'm pretty sure we'll see a lot of upstairs play. If we have teams that are very confident in their ability to hold multiple floors and maybe get a little bit of a soft or hard room going, I could easily see kitchen dining being played. But I'm not quite sure. I mean, we haven't seen either of these teams play before, but Villa is going to be a very interesting map.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe one side has more of a preference on this map, and we'll see a lot of domination, as we have been seeing through the past few games. But hopefully it's a close match. Yeah.
So it looks like we're going to be moving on to the match. We have all the players in currently, and we are going to be moving on to the ban phase. So another operator I easily see being banned. I know we have the default ban typically of a Jackal, especially with a strong roam presence here. But we could also see a Capitao ban, especially if teams are thinking of playing Mira.
Yeah, definitely. Capitao ban on this map makes a lot of sense. There goes Thatcher, the first ban from Syndicate. Capitao, he has a lot of strong utility on this map. He can lock off the long hallways and counter rotates and say the vault there, and then there goes Montagna by is that Ascent? Ascent takes out the Monty there. Maybe they have played against some of Syndicate's player and know him as a strong Monty. Maybe they just don't feel like dealing with him. There goes.
All right.
Sorry. Yep.
Sorry. Okay, we see the Mira ban. And Montaigne is a very strong operator, especially when pushing along hallway. And we are going to see the Echo ban. So you do have a lot of intel denial, but that does leave Valkyrie up on the board. Valkyrie is a very strong operator on this map, especially with some of the cheekier cam placements you can get, and it really does open up Valk or one of the roamers to capitalize off some of those flanks. But you are right, Montaigne is a very strong operator, and it's not super surprising. They probably in scrims had played against a Montaigne and had realized that if you get control of red stairs as the attacker, Montaigne can just roll right into long hallway, and there's not much you can do about it. It really does force the roamers out of their positions, and we are going to see an Aviator Games defense first.
Yeah, so it looks like we've got the Wumai Jaeger combo again. Bit of an interesting combo that we've seen more often nowadays, but with the more grenades on the board, it makes a lot of sense. Mute and a Maestro on defense with a Bandit as well. So, just wall denial there and a bit of intel, bit of
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as
bit
they
of
can.
area denial with a mute as well. And on the attack, they've got the Nomad coming up right off the bat. I think that was a 6 pick. And Zofia, Buck, and Sledge. So maybe they're looking to do a reasonable bit of vertical play here.
Attackers have
Yeah,
secured
it's
the
not
location of a bomb.
super. Ooh, we already have a little bit of health off from the mine.
Bomb located
It's
by
not
attackers.
super. Oh, we have one player from Ascent
Left before insertion.
that left the match. Because that is in the first 30 seconds,
5 seconds to
I
go.
believe they are going to be calling a rehost. So we are going to be coming right back because we did lose a player. And to talk a little bit about the picks, it's very surprising we didn't see a Valkyrie. But right now we are going to be reloading the lobby. Just a reminder for viewers: if you do lose a player in the first 30 seconds of your round, you are able to call a rehost on that. The rules of the rehost being you have to have the exact same operator lineup. So they have to pick the Capital and 6 pick onto the Nomad, and the defenders have to pick the same site. And based on how they had set up, they have to keep a fairly similar setup. So we will be coming right back. And yeah, we'll see you guys in a minute.
All right, I'm sure that was just some technical.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. It was some technical difficulties. We did have a player disconnect, but we are back into this round. So just a reminder, I know I said this before, we are going to be playing Aviator games. Same picks have to come out. Nomad did not 6-pick from the Capital onto the Nomad, but that's totally fine. He can bring it and let the other team know. There's nothing wrong with that, but we are going to be moving on to the round. So I'm really looking forward to this Aviator game setup. I know that it was very, very lucky for the Wamai as he got shot, and with the rehost, they don't actually have to take that health back off. And yeah, it looks like we are going to be moving on with some intel denial with the mute and the bandit to try and deny that wall, especially from that Habana. And I know that you mentioned this before, but I'm expecting hopefully to see some vertical gameplay, especially with the addition of Zofia. She's able to really push below and get those breaching charges from below, especially without the Thatcher being on the board. It's very easy for her to use her charges from below, hit the charges from below, and to really open up for that Habana and take the walls.
Yeah, and given they brought the sledge as well, they have some nades on the board there too. But as I say that, the defenders also brought a Wamai and a Jaeger, so maybe we won't see any of that there.
Yeah,
Wavelength having a bit of trouble there shooting a cam, but he got there in the end. That's all that matters.
Yeah, looks like Wavelength didn't warm up his cam shooting in Sea Hunt before the game.
There's a bit of trouble breaking the window from Shifo as well, but that's okay. We've all played Siege. We all know what it's like to have a bit of trouble at first, but that's okay.
We've all whiffed a few cams and gotten some nice one taps afterwards. It looks like we are going to be seeing Godfire on the Jaeger playing on 90. And 90 is a very powerful position here because my apologies. You can deny the push up from red stairs. You can deny the push from Sanctuary, and you can also deny them from taking long hallway. So he's playing this very well. We have him engaging in a gunfight currently with the Habana, and he does have those Jaegers still helping him out. None of the flash grenades took out any of his ADSs.
And it also looked like the Maestro was sitting on his cam watching the red hallway, the section of red hallway that goes to 90. And so feels like if he's constantly feeding him information, and Godfire gets some intel from Maestro, he can capitalize off that really quickly and deal with the attackers from top red or 90 hallway.
I'm very interested to see how these attackers are taking it. And as I say that, Godfire is able to get the pick onto the buck, and he's just going to rotate back to the site. That is a very, very smart pick. And I'd said before, Uzi is traded out as he's trying to go up to the flank on the attacker's Wavelength with a very good pick. I was going to say that if the defenders get a pick without it being traded, this becomes a very defender-sided match. But it looks like they are going to be taking Volt right now, and it looks like they aren't even attempting to push at Steady, which is very interesting as the defenders had dedicated a lot of utility for defending Steady. They're doing an entire north side take.
Perhaps losing the Wamai there, though he was roaming, perhaps that meant a lot to them in defending the Study side.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we lost me for a second. I accidentally had left the stream. It looks like. Oh, it looks like.
As we say that, the Maestro took 2 quick kills and Bandit cleaned up for the round there, and winning Syndicate the first round of defense.
Yeah, very good job by the defense there. They were able to get an early pick. The pick was traded off, but it was their buck. They didn't have any vertical play. And then when the Zofia was pushing in, Zofia got picked off very quickly by the Bandit. And so it was left on a 3v4 situation. They were all feeding into the same hallway, and there wasn't a whole lot that the attackers could do at that point. It was very interesting to open up that vault, and it looks like I didn't get to see the end of the round, but I think that opening up that vault might have been more to the disadvantage of the attack, because now you're opening up the ability for the defenders to flank you, especially if you aren't actively contesting that vault angle.
Yeah, well, it seemed like Maestro with his 80 round LMG just pushed in there and pre-fired and came around the corner, blasting 2 of them as he went.
Yeah, and that's one thing about keeping Maestro on the board. I know that we've seen some Maestro bans on Clubhouse. Maestro's a very strong operator, especially on Villa. I don't know why teams don't ban him a little bit more on this map, because he's able to gain intel on a lot of those key positions without putting his evil eyes in any sort of I'd say disadvantage, or an area where
without a risk.
Nowhere where they'd be at risk. And his machine gun, I mean, I've said this once, I'll say this again, if he knows where the attackers are coming, he just needs to hold an angle, and that out, the machine gun goes burr, and you can fire for days, and you really do some detriment to the attackers.
Yeah, it tears through anyone there. I think a lot of the things about Villa that make Maestro so strong is the long angles, where obviously his cams are immobile, but when you have long hallways, and those long hallways are so important to the map, to the sites. You can just put them down at the end, at the middle of a long hallway, and if the defenders don't drone them out, you got to deal with a lot of intel there in such a long angle.
Yeah, and especially on 90 hallway, especially at and the end of 90 hallway and 90 cubby outside of vault, if you place that evil eye there, you're able to see the push up from red stairs, you're able to see the push on long hallway from the top of red, and if you do have any drones come through and he's sitting on a cam, he can zap the drones as they come in, and you don't have to put any of your attackers at a disadvantage, or put any of your attackers or defenders at risk in order to get those. So it looks like they are going to be bringing the Jackal. They're going for a south side take, it seems, currently, and it looks like they're really trying to get control of site early. They're opening up landing, and yeah, this is looking like the attackers are trying to take this in stride.
And they're really taking it slow here, being methodical and trying to work out the ways to clear roamers and play it slow and smart and win this one as best they can.
Yeah, and as we're talking, it looks like it's like we're not going to be having any evil eye play. As the Maestro is taken off the board very early, that is a very, very good pick for the attackers, because now you don't have to deal with the Alda, you don't have to deal with his cams denying any plants, and we have a flank coming in from the Jaeger. He's able to take out Wavelength, and that is a very, very good pick. It's now going to be, instead of an even advantage, it's going to be advantage defenders.
Yeah, taking it down to the 3v5, and of course losing the Jackal with that really strong AR there. And obviously a lot of utility given that he has smokes. As I'm saying this, Num's taking out the Hibana through the concrete doorway, and Godfire pushing in with a pistol and just mowing down the last attacker.
Very interesting decision to bring the pistol there. I think he was going a little bit more for style and to show off his black ice more than anything. But yeah, that was a very, very good gunfight. Definitely showing some of his gun skills there. But yeah, the attackers were able to get a very early pick off onto the Maestro, but the defenders had a flank coming up, which is very surprising, seeing how they had brought the Nomad. I know that we had seen this a little bit in our last match on Theme Park, is that the Nomad was being brought, but the Nomad's charges weren't being placed on any of the common flanks, and so the defenders are able to freely roam, freely rotate around, and able to get those picks onto the attackers. And I think that is, I don't want to say that that's a I don't want to to rag on the attackers at all, but that's a misuse of the utility of the Nomad, and I think that allowing the defenders to roam around this site without any sort of punishment coming from the attackers, you're gonna have a really tough time. You're gonna have a really tough time winning. So now we're gonna be moving on to a kitchen dining, or we're gonna be moving on to a kitchen defense, and I'm really excited to see what the defenders can bring out. Looks like they're going to be bringing a Bandit, a Maestro, a Pulse, possibly for that vertical play. I believe that was the 6th pick. Godfire back on that Jaeger, where he's been very strong, and Dark Lord on the Legion.
Of course, Godfire doing really well so far. He's been flanking and working his way around the map like a master. You know, he's taking picks where the team needs it and just doing magic right now.
Yeah, he's playing as Foxe would say, he's playing like a rat. He's moving around, moving where the attackers wouldn't expect him, getting those picks. And that is the exact kind of play you need in order to win this match. I gotta say, Ascent is playing very well. They are getting map control, or they need the map control. The one thing they really do need to work on is getting that flank watch, because it seems that the defenders have no pressure, and the defenders are able to get comfortable with having those flanks and comfortable being able to move in on them.
Yeah, perhaps that was just some miscommunications last round, but of course we saw the Nomad being flanked from Red Stairs, and maybe, you know, given there was 2 players there, as we see this, oh my goodness, we see a run out from Godfire as the Jaeger taking out Shifu on Buck. You know, just pure aggression. It seemed like Shifu had opened up that doorway just to get some intel, or to throw a drone in, but in the end it just exposed his position and allowed Jaeger to run out there.
Yeah, and that's a very crucial pick, because the Buck is going to be one of the ones that you're going to have that can play a lot of vertical play, and it looks like the second vertical play operator in this Sledge is going to be on very low HP. I'm not quite sure. We didn't get to see what had taken out that HP. I'm curious.
Perhaps that was a C4 from Uzu on the Pulse. Yeah, it looks like he's lost it before, so I think that would be what it was. Jaeger getting droned out here. Seems like they're perhaps trying to clear him out. Yeah, they got 3 players pushing him and droning at the same time. Probably a smart idea, but maybe a little bit too little too late. Seems like they're getting further and further away from the site.
Very interesting by the attack. They droned him out, but they all pushed the same angle. They didn't have anybody rotate down over to Red Stairs in order to catch him on his retreat. But that Jaeger did his job very well. We have 48 seconds left in the round currently, and the attackers really haven't made any vertical holes. They haven't been able to get any control on the site. Now it's going to be a 5v3. It's not looking very great for the attackers right now. They aren't able to get any control of the site, and it looks like they're a little bit stagnant. And finally, the Jaeger's taken out, but his job is done. 27 seconds are left in the round, and it's going to be a 3v3. Attackers are going to be rushing the site.
Because they've still got the Maestro on the field, and he's got that LMG, able to fight constantly, you know, one after one. But he gets taken down by Capital. 2 players on site now. Given the time remaining, Num takes out the Capital, goes for a C4, and then retreats off the site. And then Habana actually goes in, takes out Num in order to win the 3rd round. First round for the attackers there.
Very, very interesting round. Seeing Toggles being able to push up, a very confusing choice by the Bandit in order to just hide in that corner instead of trying to rotate downstairs. But yeah, that was the attack, or the defenders' round to lose. I mean, they had a 5v3 man advantage, and they still had the Alda, and they all tried to rush in. They all rushed into site, and their rush had worked even with the 2-man down advantage. The defenders didn't hold cross angles. They didn't trade out. They didn't trade out any of those attacks, and that won them the round. I got to give it up to Ascent Esports right now. That was a very well done round. Even as it looked like they were trying to crawl at the last second there, getting that last pick on the Bandit was a very smart decision by the Habana to hop off the plant and go for the pick instead of sticking on it, because The Bandit had the C4 still in play, and
Defenders
yeah, I
protect
mean, I gotta give it up. I gotta give it up to the attackers there. They were down, and I even said earlier, I didn't think they were gonna win that round, and they really did. They were really were able to pull that out.
It seems like having the Maestro and the Bandit with a great SMG there, as well as the Legion on the board. You know, I didn't see until the last few seconds. I didn't see a single mine go off, and perhaps that was just poor placement, or maybe you know they had a bit too much confidence in their hold. But you know, maybe I got to say that's seems like a big misplay there from the defenders.
5 seconds left.
So we're watching as Maestro's trying to put his camera on 90 hallway, and very interesting play. We aren't seeing a whole lot of secondary utility being used by the attackers. That's something I've noticed. They haven't really been playing the frag grenades. We saw a little bit of stun grenade play onto the Jaeger at 90 last time, but that's a very interesting thing to note. It looks like the defenders are playing a little bit more utility, playing along to it, but Ascent is doing very well. I can't say that Syndicate is actually really dominating this game. We do see a lot of these games where one team is looking like the clear favorite or clear dominance throughout the first few rounds, but Ascent is really doing as much as they can. They're gaining the control they need, and they're winning the gunfight that they need to, which is very impressive, especially against a team that is looking as strong as Syndicate has been. Yeah,
they've got the Godfire and Numb going ham right now. They have 5-1 and 4-1 on their scoreboards. You know, really individually doing well, but we just see as the Zofia trying to take out the Maestro cam misses her impact, but I think it looked like she got the follow-up on that. Still a lot of utility wasted there.
Yeah, and it looks like they are still using a lot of utility and study, but the attackers really aren't pushing study at all. They're really trying to go for this 90 take and trying to pull up a north side push, which is very interesting. You don't see a lot of teams do that. A lot of teams try to go for that north side push and then slowly rotate over to main stairs and slowly rotate over to center. But it looks like they're going to try and open up that. It looks like they're trying to open up that vault wall again and try and gain the control over there. Let's see if this works out, as the mute is still playing downstairs and does have that flank potential.
Yeah, we just saw Uzu sneaking around. Looks like he may have been droned out, but you know, either way, he'll be able to be the wild card here. We see him. He must have missed the player going up those white stairs. Oh no, actually that was Godfire pushing up the white stairs, going for the flank or the quick peek onto 90 hallway, and then retreating back into site. I think that's great capitalization there from Godfire. Mute getting a bit greedy there with his shotgun, trying to peek the breach, but only loses his head. And as we see that, Del Rider pushes into Vault, taking on Maestro and winning. Left on low HP, but you know, headshots in this game, they mean so much. We just see two people drop to the floor and go for a gunfight with each other, and Syndicate win the 4th round on defense with a bit of a snake play here and there.
Yeah,
Well, my dropping low and taking out heads.
it looks like the both the attackers and defenders didn't realize that the drop shot meta has gone out about 2 years now. But yeah, that round I think was really won by the Wamai. I know I said before it was the mute that was roaming downstairs, but it's actually the Wamai that was roaming downstairs, and he had rotated up main stairs, or he'd rotated up red stairs, was able to get that pick, rotated back to site. It forced the Habana to rotate down main stairs in order to watch their flank, made them a little bit more uncomfortable, and yeah, that was really won by the Wamai. I got to give it up to the defenders. They were really able to get the control they needed, get the early picks, waste out a lot of the utility from the attackers, and were able to win that round in the last few seconds.
As you mentioned earlier, there's the interesting take on 90 Hall there, rather than pushing on the study side. But both times it hasn't worked out the way they wanted it to. Even if they pushed into the vault, they still had problems clearing out defenders.
Yeah, and that typically tends to happen when you attempt to take a site off from the same location, especially when the defenders realize that you won't adapt to that kind of stuff. Like when the excuse me, when the defenders understand that, okay, you're not really going to go for a study Tate, you have somebody playing over by study just to ensure that, you don't really have to worry about watching your back, and you can get kind of comfortable playing that turtle strat where you don't have to worry about any of those walls being opened in study, so you can play very, very comfortably in billiards, and you can play really comfortably in vault, or not necessarily vault, but just holding the angles in vault, holding the angles from 90, holding the angles from the top of red, and from that point, it's really just the attackers funneling in and hoping to win those gunfights, but because the defenders are able to find some cover, they really do have the advantage there. And so I have to give it up to the attackers. The attackers are gaining the control they want, but the defenders are directly countering that, which is making it very hard for them to win these rounds.
Yeah. And of course, at the midway point of that round before, the Jaeger obviously got a quick peek and, you know, through the attackers, probably off a loop. They thought they were going to get repeaked from the top main stairs, and but obviously Jaeger playing, like you said, he's playing such a smart roam game here. He runs in, he gets a pick, and then he gets out, and he just saves his life, and that's what really matters in these rounds.
Yeah, and he does play to how a roamer is supposed to play. A lot of people I know ranked, they play a roamer as somebody that's, I mean, you're gonna hide, you're gonna be a little rat, you're gonna try and move up last second, get a few picks, be the hero in the round. But in reality, how a roamer is supposed to be played is you want to make the attackers uncomfortable. You want to make them think, I can push you from here, I can push you from here, I can push you from here. And if you don't respect any of that, I'm going to get a pick on you. And as a roamer, you want to delay the attack as much as possible. And the picks are really a plus from the roamer. It's not the goal, but it's a plus. And with the way that Godfire has been playing his roam on Jaeger, he's really able to play to the traditional, or not the traditional, but the correct roaming strategy. And as I'm speaking, we see the Moxie and the Bandit taken off very early. It's going to be a 5-on-3 situation, and the attackers are pushing the Sanctuary.
Yeah, a very healthy pre-fire there from Buck, Shifu on Buck, where Bandit just feels the need to sprint in and peek it. You know, that really wasn't necessary there, but that is what Shifu was trying to do. And Shifu finally going down after taking 2 for the round. Plant going down as well. Sent have the numbers at 4v1 now. Maestro losing his life, and Dark Lord, the Legion on 1 HP, gets taken down for the round.
Very well done by the attackers. They got 2 very quick picks in Aviator, and that was it for them. They got those 2 picks. They had the 5v3. There's nobody holding Sanctuary, and at that point, you just have to have someone cover the roam, make sure that they can't get the crossfire from across the balcony, and that's it. And you can take the round. And Godfire tried to come up for flank. It wasn't successful. And I got to give it up. They got the control they wanted. They pushed in where they needed to. Got the plant down. And that was a very, very well done round by the attackers.
Yeah, and you know, you could argue that it was, you know, a bit of luck from pre-fires here and there. You know, seeing Bandit peek into a very, very obvious pre-fire, but you know, that's the point of the game, isn't it? You gotta put yourself in positions where you can capitalize off of somebody else's mistake, and that is exactly what they did. And as I'm saying this, we see an interesting Frost with a Super 90 shotgun coming onto the field, and but other than that, very normalized setup as well, same as the previous round minus the Frost. And we see on the attack the Nomad coming out again, hopefully to more use this time.
Yeah, something I want to note about the Nomad. Nomad had 2 of her charges left at the end of that round. She doesn't seem to be using her utility a lot, but based on how they had taken that round, I don't think she really needed to use a lot of that utility. But definitely something interesting to note. I'd said this before. It doesn't look like the attackers are really utilizing utility the way they need to. And right now, this is going to be a drone check. Are the attackers droning where they need to, and will they be able to see those frost mats? Because if not, man, that is going to be that would be a very interesting pick.
Yeah, frost mat kills are always a bit of a surprise for the person jumping into the trap and for everyone else. Sometimes a funny surprise for us. But she's not exactly the most common operator. Maybe a bit of meta breaking play here will be the excitement we need.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Yeah,
As you say-
I really do like these off-meta picks. They are very exciting to watch, especially they're fun to cast, and they're especially more fun to watch as a viewer. Be going for a very similar pick, and it looks like the defenders know that, and it looks like they're adjusting their defense based on that.
Yeah, as we say that though, it looks like Dark Lord on the mute has stuck his head out a bit too much behind a shield and lost it from the Habana. They're flashing into the the closet to try and clear out this frost. She is down on 5 HP by the looks of it, but she still has those mats, and regardless, it's probably still safe. She can take out those charges if she wants to as well.
I'm not quite sure if they know that the mats are in there. I don't know if they droned it out.
Wow, all the utility being used on the frost here. One jumps in blind by their own flashes, it looks like, and I saw the frost there being finished off by a shotgun. And Barna maybe looking to do the exact same jump, but looks like she reconsiders getting a different angle on Frost. She's going to be holding her in the closet, but Frost has no reason at all to peek there. And as I say that, she gets taken down by Toggles, and Shifu pushes into Astro and finishes off Godfire on the Jaeger. And that is the third round for the attackers there.
I really got to give it up to Shifu there. He really got the picks that he needed to. The defenders were really down at the beginning of that round. They hunkered in, and I know I had said this before, but the way that you want to be able to defend this match is you want to have some comfortable, if you are going to turtle down, you want to know that your back is going to be covered. You want to be a little bit more in a comfortable position. And Frost playing in that closet with just the shotgun, I don't think that was a very smart play. Definitely a very interesting pick by the defenders. On a very defender-sided match like Villa, you want to be up 4-2 going into the half and switching over to attack, because you can very easily go 6-0 on defense on Villa. And so very interesting to bring out that cheese strat. It was very funny that she'd gotten the kill on that, but at the end of the day, the attackers were smarter, didn't both push in there, and were able to rotate around, get a different angle on her, and get a little bit longer of an angle, especially with Super 90 being the gun you're going up against. That was very smart on the Habana. But I gotta say that Shifu on Ascent Esports, he's really been doing a lot for his team. He's been getting the picks that he's needed to. He's been able to win a lot of these rounds like he's needed to, and I think he's been really one of the ones that has been I wouldn't want to say carrying his team, because Toggles and Wavelength have both been doing very well, but he's been one of the ones that have really won a lot of those rounds for them. He's gotten the crucial picks, especially on the Bandit the last time saw Aviator played, and that was huge in their execute, because it gave them a 5v3 man advantage, and on that last round he was able to get those picks, and he gave the attackers the site control that they needed, and they just were able to go for the picks and won the round.
I think a lot of it is situationally he carries, because he's always in these interesting spots. Like, he was pushed into bathroom when there was still the frost in the closet, and I mean, those walls were reinforced, but if they hadn't been, you got to ask, what would have happened if the walls had been soft, but they weren't. So, like, the buck was just there freely, and he could work his magic.
Yeah, and I really think that a lot of the reason why they were able to push in there was because he trusted that the players playing outside of master bedroom had that master bedroom window that could peek right onto closet and peek into sanctuary. He didn't have to worry about a flank coming in. He was able to push right in and take those heads-up gunfights. And his gun skill is, I mean, his gun skill is really good. So I think he trusts his pre-fires. He understands what defenders are most likely going to be playing. So it was a very smart decision by him. Definitely playing that aggressive fragger role, but doing so in a way that he has his back watch. I'm really liking the way that Ascent Esports adjusted their style of play to fit how the defenders were playing. And now we're going to be seeing Ascent Esports on defense.
And what an interesting defense lineup already. It's somewhat the same. Instead of, you know, you could interchange the smoke there and the mute, but you know, we see the Jaeger, the smoke, and Wamai, sorry. But brand new is the Valkyrie and Goyo, which we hadn't seen yet. But you know, now we're going to be seeing them too, and they're really strong utility operators. And you know, going into this game, we expected to see a lot more Valkyrie. And on defense, the Syndicate did not actually capitalize on the fact that she was open. And it actually looks like Del Ryder goes for a peek onto main stairs, takes out 2 players, downing the Zofia and capitalizing afterwards.
That was a very, very well done play by Del Ryder right there. He was able to get those 2 quick peeks. And I wonder if he hears the Jack. I don't know if he hears the Jackal on the stairs now. But that is one of those very crucial things. And even though he had lost his life, he was able to take out the 2 of the big fragging potentials from the attackers. But now it's going to be a 2v. It's going to be a 2v3. A lot of quick picks coming in right now, and it looks like Toggles might be able to have this late round rotate to come right up, flank their team.
Shifu hitting his shots there.
He understands that there is going to be a player. He understands that there is going to be a player playing an Aviator. The plan is going down. He's going to be rotating up the main stairs.
Yeah, Valkyrie, the downstairs player there. Shifu trying to capitalize with that. Sorry, I can't remember what Mira's SMG is. The Vector there. Very high fire rate weapon. Takes out 1, but is not able to capitalize on the last. And now it's all on Toggles' shoulders here. Used up his C4, just has that MPX. He's got to find some heads if he wants to win this round. The timing on that, he does pick off Thermite there, but it is on Jackal's shoulders. None with the Jackal. And you know, you don't win that gunfight unless you're extremely lucky sprinting at a Jackal.
Yeah, very interesting decision to run up there, but he didn't have a whole lot of time left. He would have had to take out that Jackal and then rotate over the diffuser, and I don't think he would have had the time to get the diffuser down, but that was a very good rotate over. He was able to get the 1 pick, but Jackal definitely had the best of that one up gunfight. But very, very, very good round done by the attack right there. They had 2 players taken out very quickly. They were put in a 3v5 situation. It looks like I am right now. It looks like I'm being stood corrected. I said that you have a very good chance to win your rounds if you're able to get quick picks onto the attackers without being traded off. And we've seen on both sides on the defense, they're able to get those quick picks on the defense, but I believe, and I don't have any actual statistics off. This is just off the rounds that I've seen. It looks like even though the defenders are getting those early picks, even on those rounds with the early picks, the attackers are still able to capitalize off it. It only seems that when the attackers get an early pick on the defense, they seem to be winning the rounds that way. But when the defenders get the early pick, it doesn't go the other way around.
Yeah, it looks like their their slow approach to attacking is so far just working in their favor, and yeah, they're just capitalizing in all the right places, using their, they've got this strong utility and gadget on Jackal. They're just slowly working in and tracking down individual players and getting rid of them as they can, and but also keeping in mind that they have to get the defuse down when they need to, and before time runs out, and winning the rounds there as well.
Absolutely, and it looks like we're going to be going to a very similar defensive hold right now. It looks like we're going to be seeing the Jaeger playing at the top of main stairs. He was very strong playing there last time with those 2 quick picks. It looks like we're going to be seeing some Thermite play. It looks like they're going for a very similar attack. Looks like they're going to try and get control study. with the Jaeger playing at the top of main stairs, pushing into study is going to be very hard, especially with those Goyo shields playing right there.
But at the same time, they don't have any wall denial. If it's Dark Lord on the Thermite can get rid of the one or two of those walls. You know, there's so much opened up there. But looking at the wall there, it's actually opened up on one side. It's unreinforced and shot open. So maybe this is part of the plan. No hard breach denial there, but no need for it as well.
Yeah, it looks like they might be going for some vertical play. It looks like they might be deciding to have the having the Zofia play from below, get those breaching charges. It looks like they're doing a downstairs room clear. I don't know if they'll be better the wise to challenge that main stairs again. They might try and push from both study and from main stairs, and I believe that is them really trying to clear out this Jaeger on top of main stairs, but they haven't been able to. The Zofia from below isn't able to get that Goyo shield and isn't able to take out the strong position from the Jaeger. He's playing this very well.
Uzu actually used 2 nades there to try and clear out the Jaeger, and in the end, not only was he unsuccessful in clearing him out, he also lost 80 health points of his own, and that was just to a miss nade. He must have timed it wrong and thrown it at the ceiling, only to find it in his own face. As we say that, Dark Lord and Numb taking out 2 defenders, pushing onto site by the looks of it. Actually, Numb is downstairs for now, but that is site open. One of the sites opened up there. Dark Lord taking out another from inside of, is that Aviator? Inside of Aviator. And going for the plant already.
Yeah, very, very interesting from the attack. 2 big kills coming from Wavelength right there. 3 big kills. Now it's a 2v1. They were at a man advantage, and now it's going to be all on the Nomad. Diffuser is down in sight. Honestly, the Goyle just needs to hide and just allow Wavelength to try and take this fight, because I don't think they'll be able to get this plant down. He's going for the pick. I don't think he sees it. And that is going to be the round. Very, very well done by Ascent Esports right there. As Wavelength saw them all come in, they didn't join him out. He was able to get 3 very quick picks and bring that round back around for the defenders.
Yeah, you know, that timing on that peak would have been impeccable there. He just ran through site and ran through 3 attackers, one after the other, even denying the plant in the process. I'm not sure how he got through site, but if he vaulted over that shield, what a hero play. And, you know, that was easily the round there from Wavelength on the Wamai. Really going hard. And Wamai, you know, we've seen him picked along with Jaeger, but he does indeed have the higher DPS on the Org. And so far, it looks like it's a 4-4 scoreline. And individually, performances have been huge. The site's finally being switched, obviously because they won, to Trophy Statuary, but this is the first time we're seeing it on this map from Ascent Esports. So it'll be interesting to see how it is that they play, if it's any different to Syndicate. They already have a different operator lineup. Hands are on the castle there, and Shifu still on the smoke, and Toggles on the Valkyrie. I don't think we've seen many amazing Valcam plays, but you know, information is always useful. Hopefully we'll see something new there. Looks like there's a pre-placed C4 coming out from Toggles on Valk. Maybe he's got a whole setup to try and deny a plant, perhaps.
Yeah, it looks like he's placed that on the default plant spot, and I really gotta say that's a very interesting defensive setup. Bring the castle, bringing the castle, and bringing some breach now. Looks like they are playing a little bit into utility dump meta. That seems to be how they are playing. Having the castle playing over in the bomb site has escaped me. He's playing over in games right now. And it looks like he still has his bulletproof cam in his pocket, not playing onto that utility, which is something we did notice We did notice Hanster doing on the attack as well, playing on the Nomad, but it looks like they are playing a little bit into utility dump. Toggle's playing with the Bolo Charm, which probably helped him hit those shots when he needed flanked from below last round. It looks like they also don't have the rotate from Trophy into Globe. So, I mean, very, very interesting setup. And it looks like, I'm trying to figure out how the attackers are taking this. It looks like they're droning out Dining and possibly trying to push up red stairs. With the IQ on the board, she's able to see that pre-play C4, and I don't know if she's been going for any of the cams. I think she's really going right now to try and take some of those heads-up gunfights with one of the biggest talks in Pro League right now being the G8 as an LMG that is just as powerful as the R4C with 51-round mag and an ACOG and an infrared.
Yeah, the G8 being a really strong weapon, but it seems like she's just face checking every single angle rather than being droned in. And as I say that, she's walking up main stairs and pushing into 90 solo. If she's not spotted out on cams, she could have a couple free kills here, perhaps. Trading out the thermite there, but maybe she doesn't know that there's going to be the Jaeger. She does not realize that there's going to be another player playing in Aviator and running through the vault, taking off his head. And in the end, you know, that flank was just seems to be worthless. But we see Numb pushing through sight here, takes out 2, gets downed, and it's all on the shoulders of Ironbat. But he cannot win that round by himself, and Ascent take out the round.
Yeah, very, very well played by Wavelength. And also, I really got to give it up to Delrider. He's really been playing that Jaeger very well. I know that his scoreline doesn't really be showing it. He did struggle a little bit on attack, but as the Jaeger there, he got a very crucial pick. I believe he got the pick onto the Thermite, and that took away their hard breach. And so it made it really, really hard for the attackers to take that round. And I think that right now we're seeing this played in. We're seeing this played in a little bit more defender-sided. It looks like Ascent really is playing their defense as well, and they understand how the attackers are pushing the site. But it also is showing just it's showing how flexible Ascent is, adjusting to how the attackers are playing and coming up with the answers. And I have to give it up for Ascent right now. They are playing very strategic, and they're playing really to their strengths very well.
I believe this was actually Ascent's pick and banning Clubhouse over Villa, so maybe, you know, that's what they're prepared for here. And they're pushing. They're going onto the first floor site, kitchen, dining, I think here, and you know, so we'll see some interesting plays, I'm sure. But it is actually, it seems like it's the exact same almost setup as when we saw kitchen played earlier on with the pulse. Probably going for information on the basement floor even, or actually playing around the gramophone, sorry. And area denial on mute, which we haven't seen on Ascent side yet, but is very strong.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be going for a little bit more of a vertical hold here. They're going to be trying to keep control of Sanctuary and trying to keep control of master bedroom, and it's kind of interesting that they would go to kitchen. I wonder if they're very confident in their ability to hold this site, because they would be able to go back to games again, games Aviator again, because they already had their 3-round rotation. And we have a very quick pick onto Hanster. Hanster Smoke. That's going to be a crucial pick, because that's their Plantanal right there.
Yeah, so much utility off the board there. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So much utility off the board. Hanster hasn't really been playing to his utility a whole ton. It's not a knock on the player at all. Just kind of a funny joke to throw out there. But yeah, it looks like they're going to get some control of master bedroom. The hatch is still soft up there, so they would be able to drop. And Delrider with a crucial pick.
Sorry, Delrider getting the massive pick there. He just got droned out, and you know, you'd expect normally the attackers to have the advantage there, but he just swung and hit heads. He's really going hard on the Jaeger there. I believe his scoreline is 10-8 right now, or 10-7. You know, he's really doing well. But Num going back for a pick, just being patient, holding that soft wall. He's gotten one pre-fire through there. Just so good to have somebody capitalizing on these free kills. You know, not putting himself at much risk at all. Just holding outside of this window.
Yeah, and I'm curious if Shifu's going to have the C4 from below come up. I don't know if he still has the C4 in the barrel, but Wavelength has the information of where they are. I really think that they could capitalize off of that. He does, and I think that we might be seeing a C4 come from below. But yeah, it looks like there's going to be a pick onto toggles. Looks like the bolo charm did not pan out well that time around. And we are going to have some vertical take, but there are no, as I say that, verticals are going to be opened up. But we weren't seeing a lot of vertical play earlier into the round. And now it is going to be a 2v2. We have the, it's going to be a 1v2. It looks like it's only going to be the Sledge playing from above, but the defenders know his position. No, he's going to rotate below. But if he tries to open up that wall, his position is going to be called out. He's going to be stuck in a very hard 2v1 because with the shotgun of the mute, you can't really win one up gunfight on that. I don't think he knows that the mute is playing right there, and he's got to rotate in. And that is a very quick gunfight, won by Shifu on the mute. That is a 3-kill round right there, and that is going to bring us to match point.
You know, we didn't exactly see it, but he really went ham with that SMG-11. He must have been taking some real tough fights, but winning them, taking 2 heads, and you know, just dodging some interesting pre-fire. It looked like Sledge knew exactly where he was, but as he shot at head level, Shifu just hit that prone button and ducked right under them. If Sledge could see that, he would probably be crying.
Yeah, and if they go back through and review the VOD, they will be able to see that. But very interesting. I mean, Sledge played that well. He tried to get the grenade in there, but he didn't have a whole lot of time. He didn't have the time to cook the grenade. I don't think he knew the exact location of the mute, but very, very well done by the defenders there. They were down for man advantage. Del Rider was able to kind of bring that down to a 4v4. He was taken out by Num later on in the round, but Shifu also coming up big for his team. We've been seeing Shifu make a lot of really big plays, especially him and Wavelength. Both have really been coming in clutch for their team.
Yeah, and it's those clutch plays that really matter.
Yeah, Wavelength winning their last time playing on Games Aviator, and I think that the attack, something that is very interesting is the attack is really being denied. They are getting a lot of control. They are getting the areas that they want, but they're not capitalizing off of it. I know I said this earlier in last round, but they got control of Master Bedroom very early. And that crucial pick from Del Rider onto the Buck was very, very crucial because then they didn't have the ability to get as much vertical play as they would have liked. And the Sledge had taken quite a bit of time to open up those vertical holes. By the time he had done that, he wasn't able to make the defenders uncomfortable at all. And that really did play a lot into the round. The defenders were able to stay comfortable. Shifu was able to get the picks that he wanted to. And I really gotta say, like, this is something we see from a lot of these teams is that they get the control they want to, and then they just don't execute on it. And that's something that we see a lot with Syndicate, and with Ascent got the control that they wanted to. They understood the angles they wanted, and sometimes, and in their executes, they lose the gunfights, but at least they went for the executes. Here, we're seeing a lot more of a jumbled attack, and we can see a lot more played into the defense. The defense is doing a very, very good job at holding off these attackers.
Yeah, most definitely. And again, we're seeing the Jaeger playing at top of main stairs with an attempt to try and clear out him coming in heavily from the attackers. 2 nades being used once again, but still doing no damage. And it looked like Gridlock actually threw in two tracks there. And obviously they don't clear out the ADSs, which is, I assume, what they wanted. But maybe he didn't realize that straight away, given how well mine works now.
Yeah, and I think something that's really interesting is that he can just rotate. He can rotate to the shield behind him, even if they take that out. And they've already wasted a bunch of utility trying to clear him out of that top main stairs hold. very strong for them, facing a lot of attacker utility. And even though they have the wall open up in study, looking into games, I don't know how they can capitalize off it. And as I say that, Godfire rotates up the stairs, 2 very crucial picks, one on Del Rider, one on Wavelength. And now it's going to be a 5v3. They have Study Hall open into games. This isn't looking super great for the defenders.
Yeah.
I think Toggles.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think Toggles knows that he's got an attacker down there, and I think he's going to go try and take the gunfight. It looks like he's going to be brought down to about 25 HP, and Num is still going to be alive. He's going to rotate back to site because that's what he has to do right now. Shifu's going up for a flank, but it's going to be a very, very hard retake, especially with Gridlock still on the board. Attacker's going to be known to his position based on the fire. Toggles is going to be taken out by Num, I believe, and no, he's going to be taken out by the Sledge, and that is a quick round.
Probably would have been a ping through the wall from Jackal, and then the Sledge capitalizing on the ping there.
Yeah, Sledge definitely did capitalize off that. He was getting tracked down by Num, and that was a round that I'll give that round to the attackers. I mean, they were able to finally clear out main stairs, and I think Del Rider was getting a little bit tunnel vision, looking into study, and not able to look at not being able to look at main stairs, and that Ash was able to get 2 very crucial picks. Wavelength and Del Rider have really been able to bring it back for their team so far. And Shifu trying to rotate up a little bit late. I don't think that they were. I don't think that flank coming in at the last minute was going to work out for them, especially with the Gridlock on the board.
Yeah. It seemed like they, as soon as they had sight, they could just tell Jackal to play passive when he was holding Valkyrie, stopping her from rotating out. You're gonna lose that fight if you don't exactly know where an ACOG attacker is. You're gonna have a hard time peeking that. And given how Jackal was just playing passive until he heard Valkyrie run away, it was almost like it was lost for Valk there. And time was ticking down by that point, and there wasn't much that could happen. As well as the Ash, she was so patient. She was downstairs underneath the site within the first 20 seconds, and then only executed the push onto main stairs in the last little I'd say it was probably the last minute and a half there.
Yeah, and it definitely was one of those one of those takes for the attackers. The attackers wasted a lot of utility trying to take out main stairs, but Ash coming up there won the round for them. She really getting those 2 crucial picks, putting them in a 5v3 situation with 2 players playing off site really makes it hard for your anchors. And I really do have to give it for the attackers that round. And the defense is going to be going back to a Sanctuary hold. It looks like they're going to bring that castle again, still having that bulletproof cam in his arsenal. Maybe for a late addition for some later intel, but yeah, I'm really interested to see, because the defenders really held this site down very well last time. It was a very, very commanding victory. So I think they're feeling a little bit confident in the way they can take it, but let's see how the attackers are able to adjust off that. That's a very quick pick onto Toggles. It is going to be a 5v4 situation.
At the very least, he can sit on cams for the rest of the round, though, and still be useful, because he is playing that Valkyrie, and he has some I assume some really good Valk cams set up for the defense. Looks like they have 2 players actually playing over by what is that? Gosh, my mind's gone blank there. Aviator Games. 2 defenders playing over there, but it looks like they're currently being cleared out at study. At least there are 2 attackers pushing in and clearing out Del Rider on the Jaeger, and now they just have to deal with the castle there. Castle not a particularly strong operator in gunfights, but you never know. Some players handle him masterfully.
Yeah, some players are very good at using that UMP-45. Canadian comes to mind, being old builds with the worst gun in the game, and it looks like the attackers are just pushing into sight right now. It looks like they're able to get into Sanctuary, and they were able to do the south side clear, and it's going to be a 4v1. Shifu kind of stuck in a corner right now. He's got the player down outside, but now he really has to retake the site because they're able to try and get this plant down right now. The attackers, my bad, are aware of his location, and they are able to capitalize off of it.
Yeah, and that brings us to match point there, I think. Sorry, could I get a quick lesson on how overtime works in this?
So it's going to be a 2v1. It's going to be Syndicate playing on attack, and it's going to be bet 2 out of 3. So it's playing like a traditional overtime you'd see in a ranked game.
Oh, okay.
So there are no draws in this tournament, and right now we are going to be seeing Syndicate back on attack, and we're going to be seeing Ascent back on defense. Then the rounds will swap, so that in the next round we're going to see Ascent on attack and Syndicate on defense, and if we do need a tiebreaker last round, it will be back to this same setup as Syndicate on attack and Ascent on
Defenders,
defense.
protect your bombs from being defused by.
Yeah, I totally should have, asked for that explanation for the viewers, not for me. That's my bad there. I wasn't certain of the rules just at that point. But thank you.
No problem.
Looks like they're going for the almost the same setup, but instead having the Jaeger perhaps playing in Closet. It seems like, Closet's, well, using 3 ADSs in Closet. It seems like it's actually had a lot of emphasis put on it.
10 seconds left.
It seems like they've been expecting a lot of utility to be used there. 3 ADSs is obviously a hell of a lot, and but
Attackers are
I'm not even certain how you would capitalize on holding the entirety of Closet there. Do you have any ideas, any insight for me, perhaps?
Yeah, so holding Closet right there, you prevent the attackers from gaining that position. You really want to have somebody holding a master bedroom. You reinforce off 2 of the walls so they can't get you from the bathroom window. And then you want to have a rotate to push back in so you don't have to rotate all the way back around, because that'll expose you to 3 different angles from the 2 master bedroom walls. And if they have anybody playing on that bathroom window. So having that bathroom hold is really a strong position to get quick picks at the beginning of the round, but it's not one you really want to play into late round.
Yeah, speaking of late round, oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I don't actually recall where I was going with that. But it seems like, unlike when the Frost was playing inside of that area, the Closet area, they actually have the rotate there ready for if they are cleared out, or if there's all that utility used on them, at least the smoke can still escape, unlike the Frost in the previous rounds.
Shifu's got to be really careful with those pre-fires right now. I know the SMG-12 is a really, really powerful gun, but on those more long-range style, gunfights, I don't think he's going to be able to do very well with that. I think he might do a little bit better trying to get some of that smoke down in order to prevent them from peeking that window and then to rotate out. Personally, that's what I would be doing. But yeah, it looks like the attackers are trying to drone out the defenders, playing in games in Aviator and really trying to hold that south side. They're really trying to capitalize off this south side hold, but the attackers are droning them out. And it looks like Godfire just decided, all right, I'm going to ignore the guys holding the south side push, and I'm just going to push right over the Sanctuary. I don't think that the defenders, oh, nope, it looks like they do know that. Looks like we are going to be seeing a gunfight coming up very shortly from this castle, and he is able to take, wow.
Looks like he disconnected mid gunfight there, which is very unfortunate, but it allows the attackers to get the trade-off on him. All these gridlocks tracks around are going to be making it tough for Jaeger to especially quietly rotate back to site, to somewhere he can help, maybe go for a flank or something. Oh, Wavelength going and getting a double kill, but getting traded out, and Godfire finishing off the round, killing Del Rider on the Jaeger, just as he was about to flank there.
Yeah, that was a round that really could have gone either way. I mean, I think that They were playing the south side roam very well, but I don't know if they're capitalizing off it the same way they had the last time, or the time that they won Aviator, the last time they had won Sanctuary. So we are going to be seeing Aviator games from Syndicate, my bad. This attack again, and I'm very interested to see how the defense had played there. I know Shifu was kind of stuck in that hole and closet, but as soon as the defenders started to get taken out more on site, he needed to really rotate back in, because that soft roam at that point wasn't netting the kills that they wanted. Wavelength really did try to take that round back for his team, but there wasn't much they could do, and that was a wonderful, wonderful shot in from the Ash, and really able to clean up that one.
Pardon me. Yeah, it looked like who was it? Sorry, it was Shifu. No, Del Rider on the Jaeger. He was really trying to go for that flank, but just missed his opportunity. And I think that's gotta be a testament to how strong Gridlock's tracks are. You know, in just denying the ability to rotate freely, it's just impossible with so many of her spiky soul shredders around.
Yeah, and I really got to give a testament to that round. That round was won on the attackers through their droning. Their droning was what won them that round. They were droning out the players playing in games, and they knew their positions, and they just rotated around it. Even though there was a very early pick from on Hanser onto Numb, which really gave the defenders the advantage at that point. Even though he was traded off, that was a really good pick. Jackal was off the board, but they weren't able to capitalize off of it. He was traded off, and I think that Jaeger's rotate back through came a little bit too late in order to capitalize off of any of those gunfights, and so that kind of made the round more 50-50 rather than being put in the side of the defenders.
And I'm sure that the attackers knew that what they were doing there, and probably know that they have to play off their intel a little bit more. So that was Syndicate, who were attacking the round before. But you know, it's so important to have that droning presence and work on capitalizing on it and just, you know, clearing the map so masterfully like they did.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to be the attackers are going for another 90 take. They still have the Jaeger playing in 90. They understand that Jaeger will be playing there because that's how he has played every round so far, and it looks like they aren't really switching the strategy. If it ain't broke, we'll fix it. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how they take this. Looks like Hanser is going to be coming in, and I think he really does need to drone out. He really needs to drone out Aviator so that if he wants to go in and try and get that quick pick onto the Jaeger, he could understand that he won't have to worry about that crossfire from Aviator.
Yeah, but as we say that Godfire, he is just dodging and, you know, matrixing his way around. Oh my goodness, taking out a quick kill on Shifu. That's taking the buck off the board, and really a strong pick. Taking another, he's just pre-firing everything. It looks like he's got a magnet for people's heads there with the 416 carbine. And as I say that, he gets traded out, but he has done so much work, and the attackers still have not enough to take anything here. There's so much. There's everything's barricaded, everything's bandited, and you know there's nothing that they can do just yet.
Yeah, and it looks like they are investing a lot into that north side take yet again, and I'm curious to see how they use this to their advantage. Uzu getting another quick pick onto Toggles. It's going to be a 2v4 situation. Not looking very great for the attackers, but anything can happen, especially with Wavelength on that Zofia. He's not able to get the pick, and it's going to be all on Hanser, and Hanser is going to be C4'd, and that is going to be Syndicate winning the game. GG's out there. And that was a very, very well done game. That was a very exciting game. These were two very evenly matched teams. I really do like how Syndicate had played, but I really also think that Ascent played very well themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's just all that utility, and Godfire went ham there with you know, such a great scoreline, 14-9, and you know, just playing it right where he needed to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that this was one of the more, I'd say this is one of the more comp style games. There weren't many rank strats coming in here.
Shut up, good game. Oh, okay.
There weren't many rank strats coming in here. It was really more comp style, and I think that they played that comp style very well. Godfire and Uzu really playing well for their teams. They really did. They really did come up clutch for their teams. They were able to get a lot of those and a lot of those late round picks. And Godfire giving their team the man advantage that last round, he definitely won them the game. I think Godfire definitely was the MVP of that game. But Ascent, I think Ascent did very well. I think that it was very, very disheartening. I think it would have been very hard to win overtime, especially the mindset going into that overtime. They were up 2 points. They were on match point, and us and Syndicate was able to win those 4 matches. So that was I'd say one of the best games we've had so far. I'm excited to see how Syndicate plays moving forward. And I don't know if you have any closing thoughts.
I just think that Syndicate, they work so well on figuring out how to pick up where they were perhaps lacking, and even just the fact that they were relying on their strongest players, it was just such a masterclass in how to hold those sites on Villa, and even attack. They use their drones so well, use their utility, especially having the gridlock out at the last chance. It was just so smart coming from them.
Yeah, that gridlock play was, I think, very, very crucial in them winning that. The gridlock really, really allowed them to cut off a lot of those flanks. The Syndicate understood how the defenders were playing. They adjusted based off the defenders were playing, and I don't think that Ascent was able to really understand that, or not that they weren't able to understand it. They weren't able to adapt their play based off of it. They were able to get a few quick picks, but that south side hold in games wasn't as strong as it was on their first time holding Sanctuary. So I really want to thank everybody for coming out here. We're going to have 2 more matches tomorrow. We have switched around a little bit about who will be playing, so I'm looking right now to see who we have tomorrow. I know that we do have Team Never Diamonds playing tomorrow. I believe Team Never Diamonds will be playing Team Decoy Dreams. And I believe our second match of that day, if I remember off the top of my head correctly, I believe the second match that day would be Sage versus Rival. I will have to double check those, but we are going to be having 2 more matches tomorrow, one at 8 p.m. and one at 10 p.m. and that time zone being GMT +8. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I don't know if you have any closing thoughts as well, but we've had 2 very good matches of the day, and I'm looking forward to what we have moving forward.
Yeah, I'm so thankful that we got such a great matchup, and it was so even, not one-sided like we may have been seeing as we've gone along. But that's a great thing, seeing a more matched team up here, and I just GGs to the boys, and look forward to the streams coming up.
bass guitar, simmer down and mess me up, tripping like I'm Jimmy at Woodstock. Drum me around in your red Ford, shivers down my spinal cord. Oh, 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 oh. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes sound funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes sound funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding.
They said, don't fall. Don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run. Don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They say, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. Will surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began.